Well, as you can see, Russell's here, and we finally have audio.
You know, maybe I've never caught the intro, but dang, that was something.
I don't always use that intro. I have other intros. I have a countdown, and I have other intros and stuff like that. That's the one I use when I'm late. As you know, we're late.
Oh, there we go. Then.
Oh, so everybody that's watching. Where's my bell?
Watching. You know.
First things first. Free bell. I only ring it once for free. You guys are lucky because I completely forgot to make this a members only comment live feed. There was every intention that the only people who are going to be able to make comments were super chats and members, and I absolutely forgot. So you get free bell.
Ooh, free bell. So I have an entire box of prototypes that I don't even know names for. So, but I do. That's gonna be good.
Yeah, but I left my notebook and piece of paper.
It's fine.
I need to be able to write them down and put them in the envelopes so I know what the fuck knives I'm reviewing.
It's fine. Text me. I'll send you names.
Nah, it's gonna be easier if I just write them down and since you're here. So we had Joe Flowers on Monday.
Hey Joe.
And we gave away one of the Nebulax. We gave it away to one of my subscribers. I think it was I Love Knives. I can't remember who won it.
Nice.
But wow.
I think it's fun. That thing was so fun. Like that. I'm not really an axe kind of person, but it's like my version, I've been hacking bricks apart with it, which has been fun and not remotely productive. But I'm like, let's just use this thing until it is non-functional. Haven't quite hit that point yet, but it is fun to bust bricks with it. I'll give it that much.
Yeah. I cut up a bunch of stuff. Hang on a second. I gotta do something here.
We'll do a thing. I'm just gonna drink some water. Refreshing.
So yeah, let's see. I have the box right here. Now there's two of these that I can absolutely pick out and know that they are. Polly's getting put in timeout for this entire video because this is an important video and I don't want it to be a fucking shit show. And Polly's famous for turning into a shit show. It's what Polly's good at. He's always been good at that.
I get to witness this now.
Oh no, I put him in timeout. Like the second he popped up, I'm like, yeah, I'm not dealing with that tonight.
Like, bro, no.
He's my buddy. He's my friend. So he'll either live with it or he won't text me anymore. And either way, that's a fucking win-win. So I absolutely know that this is a Laconico design.
Yeah. Ray's first Cjrb. Oh, turned out good.
Turned out real good. So I really like this one.
Okay, so that is the Echo, and so there's two versions of it that we currently have. We're going to be adjusting both of them a little bit. You have the button lock version right there, so I have one right here. So the button lock Echo, which we will probably be camera.
We're talking about this one, the other one.
There we go. That's the There we go. The regular Echo. So the button lock version is going to be having it's going to have the same hole as the standard version instead of having the thumb stud.
You suddenly sound like my doctor when I was a kid. He was an Indian guy. He's like, the button lock be having, and I was like, I just suddenly flashed back to our family doctor when I was a kid.
Yeah,
great guy.
So the button lock version, we're going to be taking off the thumb studs, putting on the hole that's on the standard version. So this is just going to be like that with a button lock. I'm not sure if we're going to be running the button lock as a standard version because Knife Center has already put in an order for a whole bunch of these. Shush. But we should be sending those off sometime soon when they're in production. These are going to be out pretty soon. Ray has confirmed everything. We're going to be moving the position of the clip. God, this camera mirrored. The clip is going to be put more at a vertical angle, just a little bit different to adjust for the kind of that position there.
It is a little, as my grandfather would say, cattywampus.
Yep, it's a little off. It does work actually pretty nicely in the pocket, but I feel like when you're indexing it, you kind of squish it a little bit as you're kind of indexing that front flipper. As I missed the front flipper. There we go. You're kind of squeezing on it. It feels like there's flex there. It's not that it's that bad, but it just doesn't feel quite right. So we're going to just do a little adjustment on that.
It does. Okay. It does feel weird when you're holding on to it to do the front flip. It feels, now that you say it, it does feel a little off.
Yeah. It should have okay, so funny enough, I have the actual custom with me because goddamn, I love Ray's stuff. So on the custom, you see the clip is a vertical clip, and Ray wanted it more like that. But the way this is set up, it does kind of God, the mirrored thing, Mike, is killing.
You got to get used to it. You got to get used to it.
Right?
Like, I don't even have to think. I don't even think about it anymore. Right is left, left. Just think. Yep. Right is left, left is right.
Yeah. So you notice on this one, on the production version, the one thing we've done is it's in line with the column. So that screw goes into the column that holds it together, and you remove some of the extra screws and extra bits. It's meant to kind of keep the design a bit more clean. And overall, I think it actually adds a bit to the design. But, you know, Ray is just like, that's cool. I like it. But he wanted
I'm going to tell you something that you guys do that I love. And I've said it. There's other companies that do it differently. You guys have done it in a couple different ways. But providing, like, I hate lanyard holes, but you're providing oh, you just don't like lanyards. It's not that I don't like lanyards. And it's not that I don't want you to be able to do lanyards. I just don't want you to fuck up the aesthetic of the knife.
Exactly. Like a lanyard hole is it's got to be dedicated if it's a lanyard hole. Like it's got to be there or not. If you're going to have a lanyard hole, deliver a lanyard hole. It's not a half-ass hole. It's a hole. Like PM2 style, big old through the knife. It's there. If I want to run a piece of like hemp cord through there to make a lanyard, if I'm out in the garden, I like, want to chuck my knife over a fence. Sure. Great. It should be a lanyard hole that is present and not just a little hole through the hand. It doesn't make sense to have a wimpy small hole.
Yeah. What about all those odd bead people? That's what I'm saying. You put a lanyard on it. There's a spot for a fucking lanyard. You can put a bead on this.
I love me some beads. I mean, to be fair, I've always been the kind of guy that runs my lanyard through the back, like the last column, and just loops it around and ties it off at the end, which I think is great.
Yeah, but in something like this, you're going to wind up cutting your lanyard. If you've got an expensive bead on your lanyard, like
Starling gear, whoo, man,
or like what's like the $100 Darth Vader bead that's on my DOC that's over there. You don't want to. Or those guys that have like the super expensive beads that they picked up at the what is that? What is the guys that do the lighters and the flashlights and shit like that?
Mech Army? No, it's not Mech Army. Fucking it's not coming to me, man. Like I know you're Steel Flame.
Yeah, Steel Flame. There you go. Steel Flame. Like their stuff's expensive as shit.
Oh man, that's more than a knife.
And like you put a fucking you got guys that are putting $200 and $300 lanyards on a knife. If you clip that lanyard. If you clip that lanyard, you're out. You're out as much as you've just lost a whole nother knife.
Or at least it's like it just like wears on the cord. It makes your closing action worse. Yeah. It really is like it's not a pleasure to have on there to show off the bead. And so the way that we're doing like these little column lanyards, God, the mirroring. So I like these.
Right
I think they're pretty cool.
Left is right. It's just like looking at yourself in a mirror. Yeah, actually, it's not. It's exactly.
How much do you think I look at myself in the mirror? Look at this hair. Do you think I look at myself in the mirror that much?
I don't like looking at you now, let alone. Right.
So, but no, I like these. I think they were a great idea. They're super simple. Like, just column with hole, put it up. There it goes, Mike. He's gone.
I'm here. Oh, I just put you up so that so you could show the knife in more detail. You were showing something.
Do that. So I need a little pointer here. Why don't I just hold on? We're just gonna pop out a pen. So I can rotate this guy a little bit, and hopefully it's rotatable. So just going in there and kind of turn that guy a little bit. Well, take my word for it. It does turn in its space, but that neat little lanyard hole right there acts as a hole. You run one line of cord through there and tie it off. That way, you don't have to worry about running two pieces of cord and having a really problem. Like when you have when you do lark's head through one side and then you have it on, you pull the other cord through, it makes for an odd, ugly kind of piece of extra cord. This, you just do one piece of paracord, you burn one end, you run it through there, you pull it through, put your bead on, you're good to go. I think it works out a lot nicer than most lanyard holes because you don't add any mass to the back end of the knife. You don't have that kind of floppy end. And if you want a massive lanyard hole with a massive lanyard that you're using because you work with things, we're using big old gloves, you want to have something that you can grip onto, you're using it in a functional sense, or you're trying to find your knife, you do want a bigger lanyard hole. You want that to move freely so it isn't just sticking up straight. You want it to fall so you know exactly where it is every time. Again, like the PM2, the lanyard hole in the PM2 is ugly as sin, but it makes sense. You can run just about anything through that hole and have a lanyard. You can just or
if I was going to do anything that would require that level of difficulty in cutting and heavy duty cutting,
You know, fixed blade. Yeah.
I'm probably going to grab something this size, not a fucking PM2. That's like,
I mean, I'm thinking
you need a lanyard for no. Like,
okay, I will put
pocket
this out
knives
there.
are typically not meant for the kind of cutting that's going to require a lanyard.
I will put this out there. If I'm
respectfully
working in tall grass, I'm working in a place where I'm putting my knife down in an agricultural setting. I'm putting it on the ground in places where I can't always find it, and I want to have something to grab onto. You want a big, fat, ugly bead, or literally, I've seen some guy that puts a block of wood on the end of a lanyard. It's just rope with wood that he cuts off at the end of the day. But he does that so when he puts his knife down on the ground while he's bending over to cut things, he can find it. That's the point. Because he just needs that small knife, and a fixed blade for him means that he's putting that fixed blade on the ground, and as he's reaching for it, he doesn't want to grab the blade. In this case, like, yeah, you want a big lanyard that can just accommodate just throwing something on there. And it's not anything fancy. It's literally just a weight.
Hang on. Who's buffering? Am I buffering? Is Russell buffering?
Because, oh, no.
God damn it. I've been fighting with internet guys. I swear to God, I told my internet provider.
Everything's looking good on my end.
I told my internet provider if I continue to have problems with this, I'm going to take my equipment, put it out on the street.
I mean, the question is, which one of us is buffering? So are we just talking to ourselves at this point?
Some people are saying buffering. Let me just make sure that I've prioritized this device. So, so maybe it's buffering on their side.
Fair enough.
But just to be safe, I'm going to prioritize this device.
I will shut up and just play with the knife.
Mike is using his pocket knives to cut gummy edibles in half. If you know me, I don't eat half an edible. No,
you just literally melt them all in the microwave and just.
I eat the whole thing, if not more than one. It's true story. True story.
You might be huge. I don't doubt that. Like, come on, man. If you're eating half a gummy bear, I'm like, what are you even doing? Like, what's that for?
There are some people that the edibles absolutely do affect more, and there's some people it affects less. And I just happen to be one of those guys that's not only by volume, size, and volume does it take more. I just have a tendency to not have my they just don't seem to affect me
Mike,
as much as others.
You're talking to a guy who's a 5 milligram kind of guy, and I'm like, I'm good. Like I'm good at that. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. I'm about to go take a nice nap. I'm like, no, I need Jack. I could just sit there and inhale someone's vape smoke. I'm like, man, I can't work anymore.
No, I absolutely my dose if I'm just like wanting to go to bed and not have back pain and stuff. It's like 100 milligrams.
Yeah, no, I'm good with
nothing. That's just like yeah, I can still do stuff if I had to. So let's see here. I just want to get through some of these chats. No one's buffering this and that. I don't want to miss any of that. Hey, can you see the chat on the side? Have you got you'll see a little tab. It'll say comments.
Yep.
And you can
I'm in the comments.
Yeah, there you go. So now you can bring that up on the side and you can see.
Cool. Someone keeps asking on the Seder. I'm literally holding the Seder right here. I know we're not talking about the artisan stuff. We're working on it. We just got to get Chris to get the final renders. I got to get him a stitch version. We're cutting it out. Good to go soon. Probably, before or after Blade Show. Working on it.
The 2.0, right?
Yes. We're taking off the front flipper. Chris just has to do a few modifications. He redid it in person, just reground some pieces of the knife. And it's pretty much done. He just has to render it and send it off to us, and we're good to go. So yeah, Seder's coming. It is coming. It's been a hot minute, but it's coming.
So, Polly's pouting. Let's see here. So we've got there's the echo. So guys, just so you know, the first hour is going to be with Russell because Russell said he would do the live feed and then comes back and he goes, oh, I can only do an hour. And I'm like, it's a 2-hour live feed. It's always been a 2-hour live feed.
Come on, man. I got a date.
I got some Valentine's Day stuff to do. And I was like,
why do you think I'm wearing this shirt, man? Come on. I got stuff I got to do.
I'm like, I don't know.
Hey, you're married. I'm not. Okay.
I thought maybe it's not Valentine's Day. I thought maybe that the shirt was because in case you sneezed, you could blow a boogie on it and no one would notice.
True.
I want to say I'm saving one for last.
I know which one it is.
I don't think you do.
Well, let's find out.
I think you do.
I might. I got a feeling.
So there's this. So this
Yep.
is like the yeah.
We're
You
working on
thought
the
you
name.
didn't.
We got to redo the name. A lovely gentleman who's a new knife maker said he had a bit of a problem with the name. Pretty much because I know the guy. I'm like, yeah, dude, we'll change it. No problem. If you know Nick from over at Beyond EDC, he's the one who did the Geo. Awesome
Yeah.
knife. Nick's a really cool guy. He's fresh in the industry. This was originally gonna be the Geode. He called me up. I was like, hey, Russell, man, like, I know it's not a big deal, but is there any chance we can change the name of this knife? It's really close to mine. I want to make sure my stuff has distinction. Like, yeah, no problem, man. So I actually think I had a couple names we were going to use it for, but I'm still working on it. It is tentatively something new, but right now it's no longer the Geode. Well, we'll get a name out there at some point. Here, I got my matching one right here. There we go.
It's not matching. Yours has got a black handle.
Oh, I have black blades.
Or black blade, I mean. I do have one with a black handle.
Yes, you do. And I have the matching set or Stonewatch version. Which
I absolutely love this one.
No, never would have guessed you would have liked this one more, Mike. Nope, never would have guessed this would be the one you prefer. Never in a million years. Choil.
It's not even the choil. It's not even choil. It's the weight forward. I like weight forward of the pivot. This has got a very light handle.
I mean, the other one's way lighter overall, but yeah, it's just like there's something very I am almost putting this into like the retro category, mirroring the retro category of knives. I apologize for the shine. I'm working with a webcam that's got a little extra light along with the backlight just because the light in here is a little iffy. But I love how this kind of has that paraframe looking thing, even though it is absolutely light years better than a Gerber paraframe.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
You can't get much worse than a Gerber paraframe.
The Gerber paraframe, and I was like, it's like the Gerber paraframe, only good. Like it's not hot trash like the Gerber paraframe was.
We all had a paraframe. We all had one. I know it was an ass knife. I know it sucked. That good old 420 J2. Man,
bro, that's what they had in the ship store. That's why I had them, because like I was like, oh fuck, I lost another goddamn garbage knife.
Find them anywhere.
Let me go to the ship store and get another Gerber paraframe.
I mean, you can go to any store that had knives and they have Gerber paraframes. You can buy them out of the box. You can buy them out of the case. They were there. But, despite the fact that they failed all the time, didn't hold an edge, had terrible geometry, and frankly, that lock was just like a constant just breaking, failing, or just not working lock, they weren't terrible. They were, but they weren't as bad as a lot of other knives at the time period. Like, there were knives that were way worse.
Will B had I never had a paraframe. I had a Gerber Easy Out. Guys, before we go any further, make sure you're liking the stream. I don't know, not to throw in on this. I don't know if you guys have noticed a lot of the knife channels. We've seen I've seen a 90% drop in views. Like I went from like 10,000 views every 2 days to 2.
It's been rough.
Views. So like if you're wanting to support the channel, likes are the best thing you could do. You could always drop a super chat if you wanted. But this was supposed to be a members only feed. Friday will be a members only feed, I believe. I'm not sure yet. I've got to do something because to support the channel, I got to try and get memberships up because YouTube is literally fucking us. Will B never had a paraframe. He had a Gerber Easy Out. I had a Gerber Easy Out.
I want to say again? That was I know I recognize the name. But
so the Gerber Easy Out was just I think it was just all plastic. I think it was. Well, hang on a second. I'll show you.
Little tiny guys.
No.
Little colorful ones. I remember the Gator. The Gator was actually a good one because that was one of the last U.S. ones they made before they switched all over China.
It was the plastic. Hang on a second. I'm gonna find an image of it for you. The Gerber Easy Out was this. They were just the garbage plastic. Here, I got it pulled up. Let me pull up an image for you. It was a I do have gift. You have to, guys. I'm not asking for donations. I'm simply stating something. The likes. I want you guys to like the videos. So the present screen.
So someone's asking about when the Geode's going to be in stock. It's not called the Geode.
This was the Easy Out.
I remember that one.
Out. It was the rubberized grips and shit.
Yeah. more back. Like, hey, Mike, can I answer? Someone's got a question in the chat. Can I answer that for a second?
What is it?
So Adrian's asking when the Geode's going to be in stock. One, it's not going to be called the Geode. It's going to have a different name. Two, not sure. We're still in it's still in prototyping. So guessing maybe like, I don't know, 3 to 4 months, maybe a little bit more, depending on what changes we want to make. I might want to see if we're going to make this knife a little bit bigger. Just give it another like 1/4 inch in length overall, because we have another project that this might compete with. And I figure if we make this a slightly bigger knife, it might have a bit more functionality to it. Mike's squinting. I got a question. I wonder what's going on there.
I'm looking at something over there.
Yeah.
Sorry, my phone was buzzing over on the table, and I was like, "What is?" It doesn't matter. I'm busy. I'm doing this. I am at my day job, as someone says. Somebody needs a day job. This is my day job.
Yeah, no, right.
Dopey. Fine, I liked it. Where's it at? Where'd I put the bell? Oh, let's see. Dopey first donation. Let's see. He can have
as the one that broke the cherry. A little hell's bells. That's horrible sounding.
Okay, so this has got a very, very combat knife style blade on it. That's why I kind of dig it, but it's not my favorite of the ones.
Simplicity is good.
I dig it. I like this one. I like this one because it has a flipper.
It seems
I
more.
like this one because it has a uniqueness to it.
I mean, I'm just like, can we just combine them and give the flipper to the one with the skeletonized handle? Would that make you happy, Mike? Just give it the steel frame with a flipper.
You don't see many skeletonized handles anymore, and it's not retro. So much.
It's like 90s.
Yeah, it's not like Mark. I'm gonna punch Mark when I meet him. It's not. It's not so much that I like the choil or anything better. It does give the blade shape a unique, a different appearance.
I think that's kind of it.
With like the choil, it gives the blade a different appearance with the choil, and it's just, I don't know. It feels cool with like you said, it's kind of retro. It throws back to like
there's
stuff
also
that we had.
lower drag about this. Like it really is just a straight rectangular shape. Whereas with the flipper is quite prominent. But at the same time, as this goes, I think this version with the flipper is going to be more to most people's taste. And while I don't think I like the choil personally, this for me with my kind of like medium hands does not need a choil. I can't think of any situation where I need like, oh, I want to choke up on here and use it close. Like, no, there's plenty of knife here for that.
The only reason I wouldn't necessarily want a choil. I would want that out a little bit further. And it's not that you can't sharpen it like that, but as a sharpener, I think that it's just going to be, for a lot of people, they're going to kind of get into that. There's not a lot of standoff. There's enough for a good but not as much as, I mean, it wouldn't have to come over much.
I can see if we can kind of sink that down a little bit.
The reason I say it is let me give myself full screen this time. So if you see what I'm saying, like where see that line, the grind line is right here. Can you see it? It comes up past. So you're going to have a thick spot, and it's just going to turn into a smile. That's the only reason I would say that it should be a little bit bigger. But I mean, I can show you in a picture later. I don't know why. I got to ring a bell for Mark because Mark misunderstood what I said. Or he's doing it intentionally. Mark's gonna get
child bells, or tri-state EDC bells, as I like to call them.
Listen, the guys do great videos, though.
Say what?
Tri-State EDC does. Oh,
Tri-State's great. I love Cole. He does a lot of stuff.
He does awesome.
What steel and what hardness? So this is ARPM 9, right?
Yep.
I don't have my reading glasses, so I couldn't.
It's sitting around that like 60.
I was gonna say 60.
I'm gonna say tentatively 59 to 61.
59 to 61 is usually what most people list it as, because
more like the hard 60s.
Yeah, because there's always a little bit of variance depending on like how close how long it's sat in the oven and how
it's getting good. Like it's getting really good. I'm excited to see how Snowdy's knife turns out, because that's like the biggest blade we've done in RPM 9, and I really this is kind of going to show how it holds up with additional toughness, because I don't think we've done anything that thick and wide in RPM 9 just yet. The Tigris was close, but yes, the Accelerator, that one's going to be like the biggest chunk of RPM 9 we've done so far. Outside of Joe's knives, obviously, but those are fixed blades, so a little different on the temper.
What is this? Oh, somebody was like removable flipper. Can you guys get? Can you guys get? They're not though. They really aren't.
Well, it's not hard when it comes to. It's again, you're looking at a $50 knife, and to buy the extra parts and do all the milling and make sure everything's accurate, it's like, consistency is the key, because then you burn some that don't work.
Luke says, "I think there's a booger in your mustache." I don't think there is. I think I just have a.
I think he's just talking about your face.
I think I just have a weird colored mustache. I'm trying to scroll down through here. So the buttons, the button locks you guys are doing are coming out great. Like I honestly, they're coming out really well. The pyrite, the Lago.
More than that, the thing that gets me, the thing that I am kind of losing my mind over the more I handle what we're doing, because I'm just seeing our team. They're just like, yeah, we made a button lock. I'm like, Sam, buddy, how did you do that? What do you mean? Like, how did you do this? What are you talking about? How'd you make it this thin? Like, no one's on a button lock this thin outside of a custom. And he's just like, oh, that's how we did it. I'm like, yeah, they're great. And they're sturdy. So one thing is, like, everyone's complaining about the polished buttons we're using versus like Civivi and Sencut do like the black buttons with the texture. This is part of the reason why they're especially smooth, is that the polished, smoothed out buttons seat and move better and drag less. Also, it's one of the reasons why we recommend very much not over oiling your knives. I've seen someone just go in there with like, oh God, I saw someone going in there like, oh, I'm going to maintenance my button and just like drown the thing in nano oil. I'm like, and welcome to lock stick. And he's like, oh, why is this knife so hard to close now? It's like, yeah, you just massively lock sticked it.
Yeah, I said that. I said that in a live feed. If you need to use anything, get a little bit of graphite powder and just like put it on your finger and just rub just a little bit of a sheen on it.
If you need to lubricate it, like bearings are for like the bearings, lubrication. The button locks, no, less
button
is
locks
better.
Button locks always work better dry. Experience Precision, that is a prototype. I've got one here.
Which one? We're holding literally this one, the Echo, or the unnamed previously the Geode, or the other one that you haven't held yet. Or no, sorry,
I think he's talking about this one.
Other Geode.
Oh, you were talking about the Echo. You had the Echo in your hand.
Yeah. That's the new Laconico. Which again, it's going to have the thumb hole like is on the other version. Just we're gonna remove the button lock, or the not button lock, the turn the other way. Gonna remove the thumb stud and put a hole in it. Yes.
I like the holes.
I think they work better. I mean, I love the middle finger flip.
Nick Shabazz, he's a legend, but man, is he lube happy. He does. I'm not gonna lie. I've had knives I borrowed from Nick, and I'm like, Nick, it does not need this much oil, sir. Like it's good. Like the thing, like a little bit of lubrication is good, but a little bit of lubrication is good, but too much lubrication can actually be detrimental. It's like oiling a sword, like a carbon steel sword. Like I have Japanese swords. Too much oil actually can draw moisture in the areas where the oil will pool up and the drops will. And so what'll happen is you don't have full coverage. Oil will pull up, and that allows the moisture to sit in those little pooled areas, and then you wind up with rust in those areas. So a little bit of lubrication goes a long way, but too much lubrication can draw grit and dirt and nastiness and things like that. It's just, it gets all over everything. It's in your knife case, and then it gets sticky when it starts to evaporate.
Over your pocket, all over everything, leaves trails, gets
Breeze Ratchford with the 2 bones. Hang on a second. That is Jared
Ratchford. That is a name, man.
That's Jared. That's Jared. That's Jared Neves' cousin.
Thank you for being my friend.
Breeze gets extra stuff. I like Breeze. Breeze is great.
And Breeze Ratchford, that is a name out of like a military novel. Dang. You getting yelled at, Mike?
Just trying to figure out what that noise was. We've got some stupid wind going on. Did somebody
Yeah,
give,
same here.
Yeah, hang on a second. I have to pull up. Go ahead and talk about what you think one of your favorite knives coming this year is, without going into the third one that I have here.
All right.
With the
I'll pull from the artisan side, because I got one I really got to talk about. I got a feeling I know your guys are gonna be like, okay, so are you gonna disappear, Mike, or are you gonna just chill?
Yeah, I'll give you full screen.
Cool,
I'm just pulling up because I can't see all of the comments.
Cool. All right. So
in StreamYard, I don't want to miss anything.
I know we're talking about Cjrb, but I got to pull this one up. This mirroring. We have the Accelerator designed by Mr. Mike Snowdy. Mike has been an awesome person to chat with. I've been hanging out with him for a bit, and Mr. Snowdy is an absolute character. But
that thing is
hot dang, this guy can make a knife. Oh, geez. And this was like easy. He sent us the file and was like, yeah, just here you go. And we're like, you want to change anything? He's like, nope, change nothing. He wants it exactly as is, off the rack, our version. He's like, perfect. Don't change a thing.
I like
good.
that.
We're gonna run it. This thing's awesome. I mean, again, like it's a big knife. I think it's time to bring a couple of big knives back. People know artisan for big knives, and I'm just like, sure. There we go, in frame. Is that the burgundy micarta? Yeah, I'm not sure we're gonna do the burgundy. I think we're doing black and green.
Burgundy. I like the burgundy.
Do too. And so
I don't own a single. You have never sent me anything.
We only
make all the stuff you've sent me. Of all the stuff you sent me for the channel that's come in, and either I've kept it or it's been giveaways or it went back. I've never gotten to have anything in the burgundy micarta. I like it. I've seen it at shows. Because
we only make 2 knives standard burgundy. We make the Scoria and the Arian. Those are the only 2 standard versions we do with that. So
and Chris will not give me his personal Arian in burgundy micarta. So Jay Dizzle asked if we're ever going to get a premium Ahab, and while we're getting ready to talk about that, Memers Anonymous just donated 5 gift memberships. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I think that puts us past 100 paying members, but that means that some of the members are paid. So if you got gifted a membership, it's good for a month, I think. And if you go to the Gilded to the community tab on my YouTube channel, you can find a post that gets you access to the Gilded server. And just make sure that when you log into the Gilded server, that your username there matches your username here, so I can bounce it against the memberships.
So someone asked about the premium Ahab. I don't know if we're going to be doing this, but I really don't. But there is this one with Ultem. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I happen to give Nick one of these at CCKS with a standard milled Ultem. This is a blasted Ultem. It's kind of got that had too much beer and kind of. Yeah,
I don't know how I feel about that. It looks like a cavefish.
Yeah, well, that's the point. I mean, that's exactly what the Ahab has, the whale skeleton on the inside. That's kind of the cool feature. As much as I'm like, natural G10 look very nice, this being really clear is one of the few times I've seen this really like highlight something about a knife. I'm personally not a fan of Ultem, but the idea of it's kind of cool, and maybe you might run this in like S35. We'll see. It's been... we'll see if it happens, but it might. And with the Ultem, if people like it, I would love to see if someone out there is working with Ultem, whoever makes stuff, can we just do like a kind of like a smoke Ultem, like a gray and black Ultem kind of story?
That would be cool.
I would love that. That would actually work for this clear thing going on. But the navy piss yellow, I don't know.
Why is it gotta be navy?
Oh, I don't know.
Why is it gotta be navy piss? Like,
did I say army piss or marine piss? Or,
no,
I don't know.
if you knew anything about
sailors, what can I say, man?
Sailors, Navy guys drink so much beer that their piss is completely clear. There's no, like, it's always just clear.
And what's that look like to you, Mike?
Until they wake up. No, that's still yellow. Like, I mean, like liquid clear.
Either way, that kind of like semi-clear blasted color versus like the yellow milled Ultem.
Make it look like an old boat.
That was kind of the idea.
Must be piss yellow.
You're not wrong. I mean, God.
Sharif Manganis.
Oh God. But no, like the like I've seen some people do like some aging on the wood scales on the Ahab, which is nice, but because it's so thin, it's like, oh, I'm worried they're gonna start like wearing them down. Or I'd love to see someone doing like an actual like a bourbon barrel, like the bourbon barrel cuts, so stabilized like aged barrel cuts on that.
That'd be cool.
I was at one point dreaming and potentially had a conversation while very drunk with a rep for Suntory Bean, who pretty much covers this whole, like the whole Bay Area. And I was asking if we could buy old barrels. I'm like, yeah, they sell barrel staves, but it really is barrel staves. So which means that if we got them, we'd have to stabilize them ourselves. We'd have to like soak them. We'd have to cut them. It's like, it doesn't work that way. And when you buy,
they're gonna smell like whiskey.
That's the point. I figured we do it and just like put it like a logo on there, like do a little like, you know, a little wood burning on there, put the brand, put like, you know, Toki on there with the barrels. And just like, that would be cool. I'd love to see that on something like the Ahab. But the problem is because the Ahab's so milled out, those wood scales are fragile. If we did on something like the Crag or something with just like big old flat scales, I kind of like to see that. But it's something that I'm not sure if we can do that directly from the factory. It's kind of going to be like someone's going to make custom ones. It's one of those things. If we did that, the amount of production, the amount of failure rate of that is a little high.
Oh yeah.
So we'd be burning, you know, a lot of scales, unfortunately. But we shall see about it.
Yeah, and don't forget, whiskey barrels are also charred, so you're going to lose material there.
Yep.
You've already got stress that's been induced because they've been
yep
bowed, so you're going to have a hard time getting them straight again.
Yep. It's a lot of issues that come with it, and stabilizing.
I don't think. I mean, you could say that it's like you could buy staves that have not been used.
Well, actually, what you do is you actually apparently I've seen some people do this where they soak it with a colored darker resin, so kind of like a blackish brown resin, and that way, as those barrels with all the holes and all like the parts that are dried and like they sun dry them, and then they soak it in a resin that's dark colored, and it kind of brings out kind of the swirly pattern of where the wood is degraded, which is neat.
Yeah.
It still has like that barrely texture where there's highs and lows, or you know that Japanese technique for doing Japanese woodwork where they kind of like
they burn it,
burn
and then
away,
they sand it, and then they oil it. Yeah,
I'd love to see us doing like a G10.
I've absolutely seen my father-in-law make furniture that way.
Yep,
you know, my father-in-law was a master carpenter, and
I love that texture. I think it's wonderful.
It is, but I don't know how it would hold up.
Well, my thought is if we did that in G10. Had those stepped layers in G10 and kind of had a random pattern, I think that would be super cool. But it's one of those things that would take more time and more energy to machine than actually build the knife on. It's like, it's expensive.
Mikey Micarta asked, is the Rift still called the Rift?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, it's Riff. The Rift is from Benchmade.
Yes.
Which Mike thinks that's the one that we're not supposed to talk about yet because Mike wants to do a whole thing on it, right? Is that it? Yeah. The Riff.
Yeah, the one that's still in the box.
Yep. The one that Mike totally doesn't know exists, right? Yep, exactly.
I just gotta find it. I've moved things around now. So yeah, I mean, this. Oh, where's the one with the inlay? This one, when you handed it to me, out of everything, you were handing me stuff, and I was like, "Ooh, the one that's the geode." Yep. This one, I'm like, "That's pretty cool," and like. And you know, I love everything that Ray does. Like I like all of Ray's stuff. I'm like, those are cool too. Like I like Ray's knives. And he handed me this one, and I was like, oh yeah, that one.
I mean, this thing's chunky. Like this one's got some oomph to it, and I think that's kind of the point. You got the one with the little steel insert, which is kind of cool. No one seems to like it, but I think
getting lost. This one's getting lost in the mail. Yeah, I don't know if you know that.
It's fine. I like here. I got one with black and brass. I think this looks like, yo, I like that. That looks cool. I'm into this.
It's not that it's gonna get lost in the mail. I'm gonna get somebody a laser CrazySharp on that, and I'll be like, here you go. Yep. That way it has to go like, fuck, I got
shit, it's Mike's now. I gotta send it back. Here's the whole thing. At SHOT Show, all the guys who were running gun stores and doing businesses where they were engraving wanted these because they can engrave their logos on there and do all this cool stuff. I like that idea. I also think as someone who just likes knives, I think this lends this model a lot of character. But for some reason, people are like, ew, gross. I don't like get your metal on my knife. Yeah. Like, okay, fine, whatever.
I do admit it makes it a little heavier. But this thing is like once you've
got
got
a light knife anyway.
Well, the balance is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that it's not like this is any tip heavier than this.
Yeah,
it just is balanced differently. Now, I guarantee that's heavier than this one.
Yes, I like a slightly back-weighted knife personally. So
you and I have talked about that. We're exactly opposite.
I like that. I mean, Ford. You know, if it's the weight's forward, that's fine. I'm not going to hate that, but I like that feeling of something that feels very fluid in the hand. And in this case, the riff is pretty much like the standard one is kind of central, like right dead center, whereas this one's very much like on the back. Sorry.
Yeah.
Flip around.
Derek asks how much those finna be.
Yeah, we're shooting around the same price as most CJRBs, hitting its like standard price around like 60, 70, street price around 50. If we're doing the metal inserts, they're definitely going to be more, but there may be a slight variance in these because this is like the biggest, chunkiest button lock we've done so far.
Now, is the inlay, are you able to, like, if someone wanted to engrave it and they didn't want to put the whole knife in, are you able to take the scale off and then screw it out from the back?
I think these are going to be glued in. I think these are going to be glued in rather than screwed. As much as the screws are nice, they tend to have a lot more failure rate on something like this. So they are. Okay. This is going to be epoxied in. It's like this is at a $50 for a $50 knife. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. But we'll see. At this rate, we're probably just going to be doing the standard ones. This seems to be the preferred version with just no extra stuff on it, and I do love the way this feels in hand. I think the overall appeal of this knife.
I mean, even without the inlay, it's lighter.
Yes.
But even with the inlay and it being a little heavier, it's got it's nimble. Even for a big knife, it's nimble and it's got a good size. It's got a good size. It just fits your hand really well.
It does.
Well, I mean, let me put it up again.
Yeah. It still fits. I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, even my big paws, I've still got yeah.
There's meat to it, and that's kind of thing. They were asking. So my team was asking, like, hey, should we like thin this knife out? Should we make it thinner? Should we make the stock thinner? Should we make the scale smaller? Should we do an inset? And like, no, keep it big.
I would say I think it's really good where it's at on this one. Like,
it's a great user. Also,
of all the stuff that I saw at the table, at the artisan table, at the artisan and CJRB table, when I was up there here a couple weeks ago, I think this is the one that like really stood out. Well, the one with the stone wash.
These also feel like us. Like these look like our designs. I like that this has some distinctive styling to it that feels like it's not just a knife. It's like, yeah, this is what CJRB is known for. This feels like our things. Also, I will say this fuller. I like this fuller a lot. The position of it, the size of it, it works great as a thumb opener. I am quite happy with that. And then the flick is awesome.
I would show you it next to the logo, but I don't know where the fuck I put my logo. I think it's upstairs.
I think mine's upstairs as well. So
I don't have a logo within reach.
Actually, wait, you know what? Wait, I might have one. Give me a sec. Give me. I'm just gonna scoot over here.
Russell's coming back.
Yeah.
I'd take one with or without the inlay, but would definitely appreciate the inlay. I like the idea of the inlay. It lets you customize it. Like if you want to take that somewhere and have them engrave it, that would be really cool. I do like the fact too that you can flick it, you can reverse flick off of the fuller, which is a lot of fun.
I do have one. Hooray!
I do have one issue with this. I do, as much as I love this, I have one issue with it, and I think we talked about it at the show. I won't throw it out there right now. It's the termination point, the choil.
Yeah,
not at the toe, but at the grind. So
yeah, it's a little small, but I'm just like, well,
you're well into the thickened area.
All right, so compared to the logo, here we go. They are about the same length. But thickness wise, this guy has got it kind of beat. Lago's way thinner.
It's a good 2 or 3 millimeters. Easy.
Like
if not more. It might be, probably about 3. What about 3 millimeters?
There's a definite. I got it. Doing it on camera, sorry. There's a definite difference. I give it like 2 or 3, but the logo's a lot more, like logo's way lighter.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is probably almost twice the weight.
It's chunky.
Of the logo.
It is a chunky, heavy knife, and I said keep it that way. Yeah, no. Reverse flick floors. Oh yeah.
I love reverse flick. I did a short about that. Like, what's my favorite deployment method? I love flippers, but there's something tactile and there's something tactile and satisfying about opening a knife in a reverse flick.
The middle finger flick.
So
I have a whole thing on this, and the middle finger flick has been my preferred method of opening ever since I learned how to do it. I know. Yeah. Yes. Okay. All right. We'll work on it.
It's not even so much that you would need to do a lot of like
take it back,
material
yeah.
movement to just thin that material back, like have the transition, because you can see the grind starts to come back right here.
Yeah,
And if
it's a
you look,
little...
there's a lot more knife there, and you're gonna have a smile.
I'm gonna see if we can actually do that, because I think we can definitely take this back a little bit, because it really is seating very nicely. But we have plenty of space to take that back a little bit. I think at this point it really is kind of aesthetically there because it matches with where the guard kind of ends.
Yeah,
so we
it
can
looks
absolutely
cool.
change that a little bit. Yeah, it's like that shouldn't be too much wrong because it is a little thick there.
Yeah.
You know, but if we're going back to the middle finger flick, like here with the Sirius, or sorry, not the Seder. Yeah. So my whole thing with the middle finger flick is I only learned how to do that fairly, like, you know, I learned that on a Spyderco. And my thing is I carried one in my back pocket because I happen to like back pocket carry with a tip down carry. It's just like, it's the worst. Everyone's like, oh, it's gross. I'm like, no, it makes sense. For me,
for hip pocket carry, yeah, it does.
I mean, it's like in
I have to
back pocket up against the right edge of the pocket. Like I have, I think I have something else. I have the ruffian in my back pocket right now, and it's this one isn't tipped down, but usually I would carry the ruffian tip down with the blade facing the inside edge of the pocket, or sorry, like out towards that side.
Yeah, towards towards the seam of the pocket of the pants.
And here's my thing. Here's my thing specifically with that. And I know there are going to be a lot of people who have arguments about this because the whole tactical draw thing is the most ridiculous argument. I'm of the mind that if you can get your knife out of your freaking pocket, like, you're military. I'm not. I only have like 10 years of knife combat experience, and frankly, it's all been pretty minimal. I have no real say in this. I have not seen live combat. I've only had to pull out my knife in a defensive situation a handful of times in my life. Yeah, exactly. Bigger knife, better. Yeah, always. But civilian, you can't carry that shit. I'll get shot. But my whole thing is the back pocket carry is not a tactical carry. It's not for that purpose. If it needs to be, any knife you can get out of your pocket is fine. For me, it's in the back pocket in that position because that is my on the ground position. If I am bending over, cutting boxes, opening things, cutting weeds, pulling it out of my side pocket, the front pocket is a pain in the ass. You have to do like the chicken wing to get it out. I mean, have you like
you're pulling it out of your prison pocket? Better wipe that thing off. Anyway, yeah, I'm listening.
But think of it this way. So my whole thing is if I'm bending over, I'm wearing a pair of jeans, I'm on the ground cutting open a box on the floor. I work in a warehouse. I sell knives. What do you think I do? I spend most of my time cutting open boxes with knives. So if I'm bending over, I got a stack of boxes. I'm on the floor, you know, on the ground, bending over, opening things, putting off to the side. Pocket. Yeah. Reaching into the front pocket is just like, okay, struggle with the knife, pull it out, overcome. Like if it's got thumb studs, are always going to snag. And it's like, fine. It's not like
I can put this into perspective for anybody that doesn't work in a warehouse and have to do that. Try to pull your fucking knife out of your pocket because somebody in the back seat's like, hey man, hand me your knife. And you're like trying to get like your knife out of your pocket while you're driving and sitting in the car. I'm like, I get it.
So that's
why I carried a knife in my hip pocket for a long time.
Yeah. So that's why the back pocket knife thing. I'll usually carry a small folding, like I like a nice Warncliffe knife in the back pocket. And that way it's like, okay, reach back, pop it out, pop it with the middle finger, cut, close, done. It's the easy way because as soon as you pop it, if it's a small knife, you're holding it more securely than you would by opening it with your thumb. Because that way it's in a reverse grip. So how can I illustrate this with anything I have here? Because I'm like, all right, let's just pretend the Echo. So I learned from the old, like, you know, you open your knife without like losing a grip on it. You're doing this grip, open it with your thumb, and then rotate it to fit in your hand. Fine. You know, these days I'm not doing this opening much. I'm going to take it and just like, okay, pop, there, done. I'm doing most of my grips like this. I'm not cutting boxes all day like this. I'm cut, done. I'm not really doing hard push cuts. I'm popping tape, turn, cut, turn, put the knife down. So from the back pocket, it's pull out, deploy. As I fail that. Pull out from the back pocket, deploy with the middle finger. The grip is here. I'm not trying to have a hard tactical grip where I'm going here. My natural grip is going to be going here. So it's turn into the hand in a secure, not going to drop it kind of grip. So that's a more natural grip than pulling it out of the front pocket and doing the same deployment because I'm doing this. This here is out the back and done. There we go. It's ready to go. I'm going to cut my boxes. The knife goes down on the floor. I pick it up and do it again.
It doesn't really. However you like to carry your knife. Like
Exactly.
I hate when companies leave you with no options.
Yes.
Like I absolutely like the idea of a left-handed reversible pocket clip.
Exactly.
And then people are like, well, why don't they make left-handed knives? It's because we're not gonna. They don't even make left-handed. They used to make left-handed pencil. I've said this before. When I was a kid, I remember left-handed pencil sharpeners. We had
And
two
my
pencil
thing is-
sharpeners, one at each end of the blackboard. One was for left-handed kids, and one was for right-handed kids. But the fact is, like, they don't make shit like that anymore. And
Yeah.
companies realize, like, yeah, we're making knives for 10% of the population, but the knife community is less than 10% of that. So the knife community is less than 10% of the population. Guys like us, we're less than 10% of the population.
We are the hardcore nerds.
And 10% of those, that's 10% of 10% will be left-handed.
It's less than 10.
And then yeah, but what I was gonna say is I have a lot of friends that are left-handed and they're like, I don't carry left-handed knives. I never have. Like, I don't like having things in my left pocket.
Exactly.
Like, because it drags, like I drive a car, it rubs up against the car door. I run into stuff. There's always a reason why left-handed people don't carry left-handed knives. And companies just realized, like, okay, we'll just reverse the pocket clip. They're like, well, that's useless, because I was like, look, learn to do shit right-handed. I don't know what to tell you at this point.
Can I also just say that the idea of a frame lock that is left-handed versus a frame lock that is right-handed with a left side clip makes a lot more sense, because opening a frame lock left-handed is really easy because you're applying no pressure to the lock, and then closing it is like
locks.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, my Lago has gotten carried left-handed a lot with the pocket clip reversed. Is it the Lago that has the reversible?
They both do. I'm pretty sure like they both have reversible clips.
Yeah. So and my also my Beg Letter XL, because the nice thing about it is it's completely ambidextrous, but when you do that left-handed, it actually is easier to pinch it with your index finger than it is with your thumb. You're like, oh wow, that's
I've been seeing more people wanting reverse, like they want left-sided button locks because it's more enjoyable than a right-handed one, because you are pretty much just squeezing and closing. It's actually very what was it? Mr. Knife Reviews. He has his prototype version, the Terra something, the really like angular one. I handle this proto. It's actually a very fun knife. I like the idea a lot. It's a little complicated because it holds with magnets as well as the button lock, but it's a great design. And it's like, well, it works nicely. And having the left-handed button lock or left-sided button lock makes opening and operating it just very enjoyable. It's very fidgety. And it holds just as well as a right-handed one. It's not going to have.
It's the same lock. You just reverse the machines. Officer of NAF said, I saw a guy at Walmart that had his knife on the outside of his pocket. He thought he was the coolest with his MTech. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people do that. And I'm like, bro, that's not. It's like, why is your knife all the way in your pocket? Like, you're gonna get in trouble. It's concealed carry. You got to put it out like this. And I'm like, all right, you need to give me that knife.
You need help.
Like, you shouldn't have that.
Like, do you want personal? Like, this is how you get yourself hurt doing dumb shit. Like, if you want your knife just hanging out, like one of those like MTech assisted opening knives, like you want a half open knife just dangling off your belt. Like, come on, man. Basic safety.
You know what other knives that I have noticed that are famous for coming halfway open?
No.
And okay, you're gonna watch the chat, and there's gonna be like 3 people. Oh, here we go again. Mike's picking a company or a knife he doesn't like.
Oh no,
another knife to add to the hate list. Fucking Emersons have got the shittiest detent, and I have had so many Emersons that you're just messing around with that they come partway open. You know what I'm talking? You know exactly what I'm talking. You can shake a lot of Emersons partway open.
I sold Emersons for years, man. I like Ernie's a nice dude. I like Ernie a lot, but some of those knives, like, too. It's like, oh hey, the knife comes as a pair of scissors half the time. Oh, they're only held together with like dirt from Iraq. They're held together with sand from Iraq, and that's about it. It's the only thing keeping them closed.
There's so many guys who get so mad. They're like, man, check out this knife I got. And I was like, oh,
God,
great.
I've seen those things looking like boning knives. They're maracas that are with a boning knife, and they shake so much.
Emerson claims it's a feature.
Yeah, it makes the opening twice as fast because it's half the distance.
Like that fucking screwed up, torn up washer that was in the one that fucking Lindy got. You remember that?
I saw that. That was nasty, man. That was gross.
Nasty. That was a $1,500 fucking knife. I was like, I saw it and I was like, I looked at Ernie and I put the knife down and I walked away and I was like, and somebody was like, "Hey man, I think your number got called." And I was like, "Where?" They're like, "Over at the Emerson table." And it wasn't my number. It was one away from my number. It was like a number in front of mine. And I picked it. It wound up being Lindy from Knife Modders. And I was looking at it and I was like, "Oh, are you getting that?" And I was like, "Nope." And I walked away because I do like Ernie. Ernie is a good dude.
He's a really cool guy.
And Ernie, because Ernie has the coffee now too, right?
Yep.
And now he's starting whiskey. So when we were Blade Show West in Portland, fucking, I have something to say about that too. But fucking, so Ernie sees me and he goes, "Hey, you got to come over and see the coffee stuff." And I was like, "Nah, I'm okay," because Ernie knows the shit that I've said and he doesn't care. But the guys that work for Ernie always give me the stink eye. It's just like Ernie, like the Emerson guys and the Spyderco guys. Like they always just give me fucking stink eye when I come near them. I just look at all the guys over at Emerson's table and I'm like, I can't fight that many dudes anymore. I'm too old for that. I'm not going over there. Like, "Oh, you should go over and film at Emerson." I'm like, I could go film at Emerson because I like Ernie. But I couldn't film at Spyderco because I'd be like, I swear to God, like I tell people, I would look at Eric and I go, "What's it feel like to try and fucking piss away your father's company?"
Ooh. I mean, despite
that's how I see it. Like I just see like the ramp up in price and stuff like that. It is
a little steep. As someone who got I will say that I've got my favorite Spyderco right now is the Shaman that I've massively modded because I got it for $90 at USN. And honestly, I'm sitting there going, "That's a great knife. Why the hell haven't I bought a Shaman?" I go online looking at the price.
Because they're $212, $200 and higher for a fucking that's my thing. It's the material. Like I get it. Like, and I'm really happy for Big Brown Bear that he got his knife in the thing, and I'm glad that they're experimenting with steels that he's recommending and he's getting that out there. But the fact is, for a knife that is a fucking injection molded handle with a blade that is put in it a lot of times poorly. I just don't see the draw. I just don't see it.
The designs are still wonderful. The profile is still great. The functionality of Spyderco is fine. It just is that for what you're getting from that, I mean, I just let me just plug something.
I hate everything.
Legit. Mike, for the price of a PM2, how many Lagos did you buy? Price of a S30.
Let me see. PM2. Right now, a PM2, what are they? $220 in S30, something like that.
These are $50. These are $50 with a better I'm not gonna say a better cutting profile.
I will.
The PM2 is great, but
I'm not gonna lie. I do like the PM2. If I was to have,
it's a fantastic knife. It just is. It's kind of past its time.
I gave away a PM2 for the 10,000 sub giveaway, and that's the only thing that came in because people donated stuff for the giveaway, and I was like, you don't have to. I've got stuff stored, but Jared offered to give stuff. I had just people unsolicited sent me stuff, and I was like, "Hey, I'm sending you this." I'm like, "Okay," and I had a guy send me a PM2, and it was the micarta Crewwear PM2, and I'm guys, and like you guys hear me say, like I did a video. I have to throw Benchmade as one of the companies that I have to say that I have to love because I've owned so many Spyderco knives. I've had multiple Enduras and stuff like that. But the PM2 is a knife I absolutely want and I love it. But it falls into that same category as the Benchmade 940. I love it, but I just can't justify that price. It's not that good of a knife. It's a great knife and I do love it.
Yeah.
And I would love to have one. But I can't justify that price.
It's just like, hey, could you make those PM2s in the same place you make your Tenacious? And make the PM2 with decent, give it some S35.
The Tenacious done well. It's not, I don't like the design, but it's done well.
I have the Resilience.
What was the other Chaparral? The Chaparral was one.
That was a really nice knife.
Chaparral. That was a really nice little knife, and they were done well, and they were done fairly cheap.
They were great. I mean, like the milled, I got one of the milled tie ones a long time ago. It was gorgeous. It was a wonderful knife, but it didn't fit my carry profile, but it was a wonderfully made knife. The Japanese Spydercos have always done, at least in my opinion, they've always been really nice. Oh, there goes my other light. Sorry. My batteries dies in the other light, so I'm a little bit more fuzzy now. But the whole idea of Spyderco, just like you know me, I told you when you first met me, I was carrying Yojimbo all the time, like Yojimbo 2 constantly. That was one of my standard carries all the time. Oop, you're looking a little crunchy there, Mike. Crunch, crunch,
Fuck.
crunch. Yep.
Am I
There we
here?
go. Yep, you're still there. You're good.
This is okay. This is pissing me off. Like they're now my internet company is really pissing me off.
Boo. Boo. We still live? You still good?
Am I here?
Yep, you still there.
Yeah. Are we still here?
We still good.
Okay.
You're back. You're back in regular.
Okay.
But no, like I carried Yojimbo for years, and that was one of my like standard carries for a long time until I just figured it's like, yeah, it's past its time. I want to switch over something lighter, but I love that knife. The PM2 is a wonderful knife. The Shaman I've come to really enjoy, but I can't bring myself to buy another one of these. I'm looking online at like Enduras and Delicas, and for like $140 or 120 for an Endura, and like 100 something for a Delica. There's so many other options these days where there are a lot nicer things. No shame on those knives. They kind of paved the way for everything, and they are excellent tools. But you can get things that are nicer for a lot less with better materials, even.
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Like not even the scale with the blades.
There's a lot of stuff out there that you can. I'm sorry if it looks. I'm trying to shut things down on this computer that might be using bandwidth because I don't want to lose this. But no, I don't know when it happened, but Benchmade and Spyderco kind of fucking went off the deep end. Yeah. They're like, it's like they had a meeting. But I mean, okay, you've got some Benchmades, and how many times have I pointed out quality issues, like rampant quality issues with Benchmade?
I just got one of the tagged outs. I frankly really like that design. The tagged out is exactly what I want when the bug out was not what I wanted. I'm just like, I want it bigger. I want it with a slightly more aggressive blade shape. I want a little cant to it. The tagged out did it perfectly, but I had to send mine back in immediately. It just nothing against, like, I can't say there's anything wrong because the way it turned out was that the lock just started traveling so much that I got tons of blade play. I got it back. Now the blade's on centered, and I'm just like, Benchmade. This is what I like. If this was something in the price range of a Cjrb or even like twice the price of a Cjrb, I'm down, but it wasn't that price. It wasn't.
How much is the tagged out? How much did you pay for your tagged out?
I got it in a good trade, but it's still around 170. And I'm like,
see, that's what I'm saying.
Let me show you.
Here's my point. Here's the point that I was going to get to. You can go and buy a $400 Benchmade, and you're going to get it, and you're probably going to think immediately like, I should fucking send this back. At the same time, where you would buy that $400 Benchmade, you could buy a $400 Sebenza, get it, and be like, this is fucking perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, like at least those haven't changed. The Sebenzas are amazing. Like they are.
Sebenzas are amazing, and they have raised their price a little bit. But then again, when you look at how much other companies have raised their price, Chris Reeve knives have not raised their price that much.
Yeah, and they haven't. They've maintained a incredibly high level of quality. Like I still need to send my Sebenza back for a little bit of maintenance. I got one used. It was a little beat up, and I'm like, yeah, cool. I mean, for me personally, I have kind of found my personal one and done knife, which is the Arsenarian. Like. You've seen how much I've carried that knife. Like that has been my pretty much essentially one and done. At this point, the knives I carry that are not generally like beaters.
See, the tagged out MSRP 200 currently discounted on a Blade HQ to 180. That is ridiculous. It's not that good a knife. And I've seen the bug out. Like, hey, bro, I not that I want you to go because this is fun, but you do want to keep an eye on the time. I don't want your girlfriend smacking you around.
Nope, I'm looking at, we're like 105 in. I got like a good like 10 more minutes. So Mike, in those 10 minutes.
Not anymore. I'm saying at the time that Benchmade was hitting the $400 mark with their knives and they were horrible, I bought a Sebenza for $410 brand new. I bought it on knifeart.com for $410. The Sebenza 21 that I have that I've had since 2015. But Benchmade was selling knives that were $400 in 2015, and they were not good.
That was near the Anthem, right? Because the Anthem,
that was the year. That was 2 years before the Anthem.
Yeah. I mean, I love the idea of the Anthem. Like that knife itself as a design was really good. It's just that
It's
it had
not
so
worth.
many.
It's not worth $700.
If it just didn't have the internal, if it didn't have the freaking Axis lock and that special version of the Axis, they just made it simple, cut the price down, and made it just up. Like the mono lock. When they made the mono lock, that was meant to be a Sebenza killer, and they added all these weird features that made it like it was a tip down only. They had a little like lip to prevent over travel. I'm like, yeah, great. As the knife wears in on that raw titanium, you just get locked. You get blade play. I'm like, Benchmade, why? It's a shame because that knife in profile I like better than the Sebenza. It's just that it was a flop because it was so expensive. Even with M390, it was thin, it was light, but the features they put on there made it as just significantly less effective knife. I sold a ton of those back when I was working brick and mortar.
Yeah,
they were great, and I think if they made another version today with that same lock, like just a plain frame lock without the little thing on there, that knife would be great. Hell, that would be a Benchmade that would be worth $400. American made.
I haven't. Okay, here's the thing. I haven't seen a Benchmade that was worth $400. I really haven't. I remember back in the day when Benchmade knives were super, super good. Like if you got a Benchmade, if you were in the military, you got a Benchmade, you got a fucking unicorn. Like guys would have family members buy them and send them. I remember Benchmade, but before it was Benchmade, when it was, what was it, Pacific Cutlery?
Yeah.
They were amazing. And then they went to Benchmade, and now they've just kind of, I just don't get it. Like and people are like, wow, they're doing fucking Chris Reeve Knives was doing knives better at the same price point. Now, granted, like I said, the price has went up on everything, and you have to take that into consideration. But the fact is, I'm all about buying an American manufactured knife, but I'm not going to spend $400 on a knife when I can get a better knife for $100. Is my point.
We have a.
I'll buy a Sebenza. If something happened to my Sebenza, I would absolutely dig into that secret fund that I have of like pennies and quarters and shit that I pick up anytime I find them, and I would buy another Sebenza. I could not be without a Sebenza. It's probably my most carried knife. So
let's just put this out there. Money, dollar per dollar. This guy is going to be around $120 with micarta, with Stody's name, with a great blade shape, with a great design, RPM 9. It's a big knife, like $120 total. So like a street price of $100. This is going to be good. It's going to be great. And for the price you're going to pay for a lot of the other stuff you're looking at from Spyderco and Benchmade and even a Sebenza. Like I got nothing bad to say about Sebenzas, but for the price point, how long is something like this going to last you as a tool versus something like a Sebenza? And for the people that can't really drop that kind of money for a Sebenza and aren't really looking for that like lifetime knife, they're looking for a knife that's going to be a regular user, like a regular user, not like I'm going to use this for like generations. Because also, let's be honest, I don't know a lot of Sebenza guys that use their knives much longer than Strider guys who never use their knives.
I use the fuck.
Mike, you are an exception to the rule in so many ways. Shush.
I would say I use my Sebenza so much, but then again, I also fucking use the shit out of this $1,000 hand carved fucking knife here. And I've got in my pocket. I've got my. We compared. You saw us compare.
I saw. I mean,
guys, no joke. My buddy Nico bought a much newer Norseman, and I have used mine and resharpened it enough that the recurve is much more pronounced on mine. And it's just because I have used it and I use my stuff. It's absolutely, that's what it comes back to.
I'm trying to hit that. Like this has been a user for a bit. Like I'm very happy with the custom Echo. Ray gave me a really Ray was very nice to let me get this one, and I'm trying to make this a real user. To be fair, I don't use my knives as hard as you, but it's been something I'm just like, this thing's a joy to carry.
Leo, I've got something like, if you like the 940, because at this point the price difference is negligible. If you're getting the upgraded, like if you buy the S90V version of the Benchmade 940, you're looking at $220 to $240 depending on the vendor. For an extra $100, you get something that is in the same feel factor. This feels so similar to the 940, but it feels like it's had a transparent blades. This is the Oxworks Solar Storm.
Ooh, I ain't seen that one before. That's nice.
And so what you get is something that's really similar, not as thin as like a transparent blades regrind,
Mhm.
but you get an M390 blade that is hollow ground, comes down nice and thin because the Benchmade 940 is garbage to cut with. As much as I love mine, they're real
It's a little
thick.
thin. It's a little.
This is not. It's super thin.
Ooh.
All titanium construction. You can get it with whatever inlay you want. It's got the milled.
That's
It's
nice.
it's attractive. I thought I showed this to you at the show.
No, I didn't say that one. Send me a link. I gotta check that out. That's cool.
I'll send you a link.
Also, on that note, I
purchase
got to get my butt moving soon. So, did you have any more things about the Cjrb stuff? Any more questions?
But I do want to do something where we can look at the new artisan stuff as well.
I will
So
pop some of those out to you soon. I gotta get the confirmations for everyone.
well,
So
it's not even that. I mean, we could do it like this, where most of the stuff we could just show it, like you could show it. But I absolutely want to do that, where we get both, since you're basically the rep for both companies.
Yeah,
So
let me know. Let me know when you're ready, and I will happily pop on again.
We'll look at doing that in a couple weeks. So, guys, Russell's going to take off. It's just going to be me. So don't up and take off, because I got some fun planned that we usually do on Wednesdays. Usually on Wednesdays, we watch Cutlery Corner Network. So we can get some good knives up on here, and you see them $10 ones, them cross cutlery knives, which means I got to change. Before you go, you got to see, I have a backdrop built just for that.
Oh, no.
I have a Cutlery Corner Network frost cutlery background.
Oh my God.
Specifically for that.
Oh.
So Arrowhead Guy says, thanks for coming on, Russell. You and Joe Flowers, my two favorite reps to hear from. I had a blast with Joe Flowers. You were absolutely correct.
Joe is the friggin' best.
You told me that, like, oh, when you get to talk to Joe, I was like, I was like, sometimes you have guests on that, like, you have to carry them and you have to talk for them and shit like that.
Joe.
The second I talked with Joe, it was like Joe and I had known each other for like 10 years. The second we started talking, I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. So
I've had like 5-hour conversations with Joe. And David C. Anderson wants to put us in a room with 3 Red Bulls apiece and just see what happens. I'm like,
that sounds bad.
Don't put us on camera. This is going to get bad.
Tell David C. Anderson that I want to get him on a live feed. I can't seem to get a hold of him. I got a hold of him once, and then
he's a new parent. He's a very busy man right now.
I know, but just do me a favor, hook us up. Like do like an email or
I'll put a bug in his ear.
Yeah, just let him know. I would love to have him on here. It'd be a blast.
Hell yeah.
So, all right, you go enjoy your date. I'm gonna get these guys. I'm gonna ask these guys how they feel about this. So,
all right.
Take it easy, Russell. I gotta ring the bell for this.
Yeah.
Feel free to exit.
All right, take it, Mike. We'll see you all. Thanks for checking this stuff out. Everyone in the chat, have a good one. Have a good evening and have fun. See y'all later.
Later, Russell. So here's the thing. So I know there's a lot of people here that probably don't always follow the channel. One, I would love to have you subscribe. I would love to have you subscribe. If you're not typically subscribed to the channel, don't take off yet. What we typically do on this channel, and I know it's not for everyone, but I pull up the Cutlery Corner Network live stream. Now, we could do that, but I need you guys to let me know if that's what you want to do. New member! I didn't see that. I would love to do that because we enjoy it. We have fun. So if you guys want to do that, I'm gonna just, all I need is a handful of people saying, yeah, let's do Cutlery Corner Network. And I'll put up the Cutlery Corner Network stream, but I don't know if it's going to play because my internet's not great. You were gifted one. Yeah. Memers Anonymous gifted a bunch of them, and I don't know how many he did. Yeah. Do it. I'm planning on it. So if you haven't ever watched Cutlery Corner Network, they are a purveyor in some of the worst knives on the planet. Frost Cutlery. Jim Frost started it. It was a way for him to sell all his knives. I'm actually, as I'm talking, I'm pulling this up so that we can bring it up. Oh, we did get some new subscribers. So I have to go to my actual channel to do this. So Cutlery Corner Network. We're going to pull it up and we'll see what they're currently shilling. They are live. It's probably going to be Big Nose Kate. from. There we go. So it's not jawed. I apologize. It's not jawed. So it is. I'm gonna share this screen. I'm gonna share the screen.
Another case find. If you like the
I
Patriotic
have to go back here
series,
and
I think this is one of the best ones that they made. In
now they
the
do
red,
sell
white, and
some
blue.
actual good knives
So
if you've
you'll
never seen
have-
this,
And
but
it
it's
too,
still pretty
you know,
bad.
has that kind of vintage color wash to it. I have a worn flag,
Wrong button.
but they did a 3D
Wrong button.
laser edge. Like you
That's
can
what I was
feel
trying to
the
do.
stars and stripes in that handle. They did a deep laser edge. They go back and they do a color wash, and they also
I don't know.
paint it. I hope they always
I
make
forgot to
these.
ring
I
your
was
bell,
just looking,
Dopey.
it is a 2022. We're just not getting them in. And that is your medium-sized trapper.
So if you guys,
So
you
that
guys
one's
ever
going to
see?
be your 3.5 inch medium-sized trapper.
We can't give
made
them
in
away
the
right now.
USA.
We can't give them
I
away
like
right
it.
now
I like the
because he needs
Doesn't
them
just
back.
stick to, you know, just smooth bone handles. They get pretty creative too. Actually, I have
Bring on the surgical
coming up
steel.
on this.
Yeah, these are.
Third turntable. I have a stained glass series that has this same color wash
I
treatment.
don't
to
know
it,
why.
but more with a kind of. I had Easter in mind when we put them together this morning. So 57214 case Star Spangled Banner.
I don't know what
They
happened with
call it
John.
a
Maybe he's
mini
on
trapper, but
vacation.
it is 3.5 inches.
But look at how
I call it a
all these
mini.
knives are really scratched
That's
up
scary.
and screwed up. Oh, it's Michael Prater.
Okay.
Guys, I'll be
This
right
one
back.
you
I
might
have got to
wanna
go.
collect, unless you like to just carry
I have two sweatshirts
really
on.
big
It was
knives, because this one's
windy
a
and
5
cold.
inch.
That's a hen
king
and rooster.
size
These are garbage. I gotta
display.
change
I would
real
make
quick.
this a display
And
table
oops,
because of the size of it. But that
extra
is your
free bell.
Kingsman turquoise, which is a bright
Cutlery Corner
blue
Network
with
sells
gold
these hen and
veining.
roosters. They're horrible.
Kingsman turquoise is, they find that in Arizona. For the most part, they mine it in Arizona.
These are
And
horrible.
Michael's been using
So
it a
hen and
lot
rooster
lately.
actually used to be decent
I
knives.
think it is one of his most popular stone handles at the moment. We have 14.
But those are like
and
$10.
that's it. So this is on a fairly new hen and rooster.
No, I have
trapper.
not.
The 5 inch trapper. We just started making those.
Bubbles is here
And
somewhere,
then
Zora.
Michael went straight.
I have
to
not bought one in a
working
while.
with these custom handles because it was an awesome frame to start out with. These are also D2 blades. $86.75. There's Michael's signature on the master blade. So he makes custom knives.
No, he doesn't.
And this is a
He
perfect
doesn't.
example of.
See, they keep saying that. He makes
you don't
custom
have
knives.
to buy a
No,
pony
he takes knives from
to,
them
you
with
know, get a
empty
Michael
frames,
Prater
without
custom
handles,
knife.
and he makes new handles for them.
You can
It's
carry
not a
Michael
custom knife.
Prater and have that option in a signature series for only $86.
The signature on that blade is worth as much as Nut and Fancy.
856.
I try not to talk bad about other YouTube channels, but Nut and Fancy drives me nuts. You guys all know I'm retired military.
This has been.
I'm retired
crazy
military. I
popular
don't talk
lately.
like that.
And
I don't.
It reminded me of, there's a lot of folks out there looking for a knife. on an everyday basis.
Hang on a second.
course, they
I
want it to
moved
be
my bell.
affordable.
Give me a second.
And just one that's just tough.
Thanks, Leo,
and
for the 2
solid.
bones.
But that's what I think of when I
I've
think
got
of this,
some
and it
stone
kinda has an
recommendations.
old-fashioned look to it because the blade definitely has
That is
style
absolutely not
You
an
have the
Anza.
Coca-Cola
I was getting ready to say
handle,
they got a
finger
fucking Anza.
grooves, and man, what a good
I
looking
have
metal
some
sheath this
recommendations
one
in
is.
the description of my
It is
videos
called
on
Sawmill
from Amazon, but I
Satisfaction.
honestly would say that if you follow my Doll Strong
The
link,
leather sheath
they've
has
got
a
some really good
braided
stones.
accent
If you're
leather section
if you're
there
wanting
that looks
to
good.
do that.
Really thick, solid steel.
I don't
on
think it's
this
actually
one.
a file though.
But,
I really don't think that's made from a
you know,
file
when
because
you-
old files are
You
expensive
look at this knife, you
and
think,
it's going to
okay,
be more
that one's
expensive
gonna
than that.
last
That
quite
is
some
that looks
time.
like stain. I think that's been
And you use it a
rolled.
lot,
I think that's
and
been
it's
rolled
just
through
tough and
like
solid.
like a half,
$21. Sawmill Satisfaction.
not a checkering.
112-054.
not an actual checkering roller, but like a just a mill roller to give it that texture.
All right, this is our wild.
Give me just a second. I'll be right back.
Showcase.
I'll be right back. Enjoy this for a moment.
There's 7 pocket knives. So we have 5 on the table. There's 2 inside the display. And of course, you will also receive the bonus display. But you can fold up those blades. Of course, you can fit all those knives in that display.
I dropped my Norseman.
No problem. But what's neat about the Wild Turkey line is how they build this knife. And it starts off, you have ox horn, buffalo horn, and white smooth bone. So they put all those pieces together, those sections together. There's nickel silver spacers. You have the nickel silver bolsters too. And the Wild Turkey line, they mainly work with 2 different shields. Sometimes you'll see a turkey, a big gobbler.
Oh, what I was saying about
and
Nut
then
Fancy,
other
his
times you're
3-letter
gonna see
acronyms. Not
a
everything needs to be a
Derringer
3-letter acronym, bro.
And these will have the pistol
Like he
for the shield. But
was, I think he was an Air Force Reserve pilot.
a good looking stock.
I had 2 shirts on. It was cold. We had
That premium.
like a
tractor is in
stamping
there.
press.
4 5/8 Stockman, which is this
That
one right
is
here. And
The
that's a
Wild
huge
Turkey
Stockman.
Showcase.
The Kentucky 5-blade. I'm sure this is the only pocket knife set I have on the show today that has a Kentucky 5-blade.
Scales made
There's
from
the
old
saddle
spare
horn trapper.
buttons.
There's your 5-blade.
I
Nice to see
I
that.
actually don't think he
On
flew
there.
those. If I remember
then a
right, when I
cigar
was reading
style
about
one.
it, I think he flew.
Some really neat
I think
frames
he
to go out with
I think
this
he flew a
and a
refueling
display
ship,
That is free.
and
So
or
that's
he
your
or he
9x12
ran the probe,
display,
but he was a pilot. But I mean,
$48
hey,
by itself.
that's
Here
pretty
it's
impressive
free.
still.
And
I got
those
something
knives are
going.
only
I haven't had a beer in a few
$14
days.
a piece. That's a really good sale on those pocket knives. The Wild Turkey, because it's genuine handles. I mean, oxhorn, buffalo horn, and white smooth bone, genuine handles.
These are left over
893. Big retail.
These are left over from last Friday. Guys, so that
yeah,
you
when you're
know,
buying
we have
the
I've
sets
been
with the
talking
display
with
for sure,
Dutch Bushcraft
make sure
Knives.
you get
They're
the
going to be
free
on a live feed, but it's going to
shipping
be a
display,
Saturday live feed
because of course
here in the
those
next few
display
weeks.
sets, they're going to come in bigger boxes. But this is a bayonet style buoy, outdoor adventure, military look, bayonet buoy, Kydex sheath, 14-inch buoy, and it's only $16.95. So we've dropped the price on it. We've attached free ground shipping to it, and you are good to go. So make sure you get one for just $16.95. 112003. All American Showcase.
Better get what hat?
This was
Did I miss a hat?
very patriotic look that Steel Warrior started doing 10 plus years ago. I remember it, maybe even closer to 15 years ago.
Did they show a hat? What happened?
It is a red, white, and blue handle.
Oh yeah,
Those are
that's going to be
smooth
fun.
bone handles.
It's going to be fun.
It's
I knew it
not
was going to be
nickel
fun
silver
when
spacers.
the response they
And
gave me
instead of having the Steel Warrior
to requesting
shield,
them come on.
they went with the American flag shield. And
Those
that's
are horrible.
So awesome. I mean, that was the perfect
Oh, I can't.
choice for this look.
I
for
can't wear the
sure. I'm
headphones
just glad
with that hat
they
on.
went that extra step and found that American flag shield. But there is a peanut. Here's your Barracuda lockback. These are all Rockwell.
So
tested
guys,
also.
I know this isn't for everyone, but we do this every
Two-blade
Wednesday. It's
doctor
just become a
knife.
tradition. We do this for
Here's the
probably about 30, 40
Stockman,
minutes at a minimum.
Big Ranger Stockman. The little Steel Warrior Skinner. That's the 6-inch Skinner we originally saw there in the center. And a 2-blade Copperhead. Nice little pocket knife Copperhead.
Those are hideous. So
This
they're
one
like,
also
oh,
has
that's
the
the
red
Rockwell mark. And I'm like, yeah, but what was, they don't tell you what the Rockwell was.
and
It
the
was
9x12
tested.
display.
It wasn't good,
So
but it was
those are
tested.
Made in the USA displays. Oak single key lock displays, $48 and change when you buy it separately. Again, here it is free. All American Showcase, 111891. All right, I'm going to show you 2 of these case trappers back to back. They're part of the same family.
You could take our.
And
This
these
is
are right around the corner. Great idea to get it now.
what
It's
the
the
fuck
stained
is
glass
that?
trapper. This one has the cross in the center. And
Yeah,
they
guys, hit the like
wanted
button. Hit the
to
like button.
mimic
Subscribe.
the look of
Drop a comment. Hit the bell icon.
stained glass window in a
I'm about to
old
hit something.
church, you know?
It's about to get
So this one also
weird.
has the 3D laser etch, the color wash. They take the time to go back and hand paint in there too. There's a gray, blue, yellow, but premium
Yeah.
trapper comes with a velvet.
They sell this like, oh,
jewel
you
box. They
can
call
you
that a
can
case
collect
jewel
these and they're
box.
gonna be worth
That'll
this and you
also
can
come
resell
in
these. I'm like, God, you
4
couldn't do
1/8
this.
premium trapper. It's
You got to stop doing this. Steve.
$128.80.
There's too many people that know how bad these knives are at this point.
103250 item number 103250. So when Case made the stained glass series, they made a cross, a dove, and angel wings. And we have the cross.
Fuck, are they
and the
dropping
angel wings in
swords
stock
and
right
shit in the
now.
background? We
I
haven't
really
seen
like the
any
angel
swords
wings.
on here in a couple
And
weeks.
it's so originally that's a white smooth bone handle, right? So those angel wings are the natural bone, but then the rest.
She's doing
That's where the
bumps
color
off the
wash
fucking.
comes in and the hand
She's doing
painting
bumps off fucking cross guards of a
and that
fucking.
stained glass angel wings.
Doing
handle.
bumps off the cross
There's
guard of a
only
fucking
7
European
of
sword in
these
the
left, so
background.
really low quantity on the angel wings. And then it'll come with that jewel box too. Get this really nice presentation, you know, velvet jewel box. The case logo is on the inside of that box too. Those are just perfect for the Easter holiday coming up, or if you are a Case collector.
Just like if you're independently wealthy, you should just buy these fucking things and then just throw them away
Item
just so
number
people
is
can't, other people can't. Like, I am doing everyone a favor. There's
One more
your
look
there's
at
your free
that
shipping
bayonet
knife.
buoy, guys. Make sure you get one
There's
because
your free shipping knife.
that is how you get free ground shipping
I guarantee. Like,
on your whole
why did
box.
they
So
even
that
bother
whole
putting the
order
hole in the
headed to your
middle when the
house.
sheath does
You
not
can
have the
swords,
attachment
pocket
for
knives,
cutting wire?
buoys, anything you want. And then you have this knife as part of your purchase. Then you have free ground shipping on your entire order. Item number is 112003. It is just $16.
Oh, is John coming? So we have a chance
Go to
here.
our website and register to win the Arno. We have an Arno
Not gonna lie,
Bernard we're
I
giving
registered to win
away
this Arno Bernard.
on April the 5th. It's the kudu bone handle. That is the
I
stable.
absolutely did
It's
register
the
to win this
stable
knife.
frame, genuine leather sheath also.
I like
So,
Arno Bernard.
cutlerycorner.net, register. We'll be right back.
I was gonna buy a Ritter Hogue, but no, I guess I will get the Holy Case knife instead.
All right. Well,
God damn, it's her again.
This
Where's
is
her
our
partner?
Chip Away Fierce Eagle. 12 inches. And it is that hand-carved elite line chip away buoy.
She'd know what 12
This one's
inches
only
looks like.
$23.60.
She can measure that accurately.
The Wada knife, stainless steel blade.
All
And when
joking
they make
aside,
this
that woo
handle,
of the week
which
that
you can see it has
that,
the lighter wood on the
Zach
handle, but
stuff
this
bought
thinner section
when we did that feed
that
that
is
night
carved
absolutely
by
has
hand,
held up so
which
much
they go
better than I
back, they
ever
flame torch
expected.
that. And just so much detail in this elite line by
Dutch
Chip
Bushcraft
Away.
Knives.
The
They're
guard
another
on this
YouTube
one,
channel.
you have a nice
Sorry.
5 guard too, brass guard. And that leather sheath, double stitched, embossed, chip away leather sheath. So here's the stainless steel blade.
I don't want to look at it.
Blade
Stop. There's a crack in the handle.
and embossed sheath. And those sheaths are $20. $23.60 for the knife. Sheath comes along with it.
That's a crack. See the crack in it?
Eagle by Chip Away. I told Terry today we are working on a new Chip Away collection for you. So in a couple of days I'll have
They're
a
gone.
new
I gave those away.
hand-carved
Chuck
Chip
it.
Away set,
I have
'cause
not
know a
sent your
lot of
knife
these
back to you
new,
yet.
Buoys just came in the building, so we're going to put together a big buoy set for you. 112154 for the Fierce Eagle. You know, and sometimes all
I
you
don't
want's
like the
one chip
idea
away.
that
I
handle
get
is going to come
And,
apart, and I'm going to
that's
tell you
why
why.
we
Because
just have
that
to
blade has
options
got just
out
a
there
short little tang,
if
and
you
then
find
they
something that you
they
like.
solder on a piece of all thread,
This
and then
is
it's
a
just like jammed in
Winchester
there, and it's
green
not even close to full
Molar
tang.
Barlow. This is also a Santa Fe Mammoth Molar.
Santa Fe
handle.
Stoneworks
This
is
was one of the first times that Winchester and Santa Fe worked together. And so Mammoth Molar, you see the pattern in there, this vertical pattern.
I don't like that.
And when they dye it green, it enhances a lot of that. and then just adds a little bit more to it. You know, I like that green.
I don't.
I am a fan of the green.
Guys, my
Just
internet
think
is
of
screaming
black
at me,
and
telling me my
brown
internet's about to
ivory
crash.
in the handle also. But made in the USA, 2-blade Barlow. That's going to be a 2022 Barlow by Winchester. $238.
When did we were talking about it? I don't know when
And
Winchester knives got
definitely
so
different.
expensive.
I like
Now
the
I do know
natural
that one's
colors
been modified with
of
some
Mammoth
expensive
Molar,
materials,
I
but I've
also
seen
like it when they add a little color.
their Winchester
Louis
knives on here for like
111806.
$150, $200, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, so this is that big folding hunter. I have 16. I have 16.
See, Michael
That's
Prater,
the Kingsman
you have not seen
stone
a knife that
turquoise
Michael Prater has
big
made.
folding hunter, which is a 5 1/4 frame, massive knife, D2 blades. This is a new frame.
I've never
by
seen a
Henry
knife
Rooster,
he
and it
makes.
did
He
not
mods
take long
knives.
for Michael
Knives.
Prater to
Knives.
get his hands on it, customize that with Kingsman turquoise. I like the gold veining. I love everything about Kingsman.
Winchester 12 gauge folder. You're talking about the little
Henry
plastic.
Rooster quality comes with a sheet.
They were made in Italy.
The
You can't
nylon
get them
sheet
anymore.
for just $74.50. So in gold, you have this embroidered Henry Rooster logo in gold. Couple of certificates.
Are you having fun?
$74.50.
I do this
But
on
it's got
purpose.
to be 1 of 16 at this moment. I do not know if he will make us anymore.
Actually,
These.
it becomes a
Not sure
challenge.
where
Like I'm like, how many people are
we
gonna stick out?
stand on
50
those
people are
big
gonna keep
folding
watching this.
hunters.
Okay. Yeah, this
know
is like
He's made
Hen
a
and
lot of
Rooster.
different
So
knives,
until I
so
think I was talking with a friend of mine
I'll
back
look
home,
into
and
where we
he's
are with
like
the
a friend of the
folding
family. He's
hunters.
older.
But
He
the
says
moment,
that
we
he
only have
remembers
16.
until like
$74.
he's like my dad's age. He said he
Item number
remembers
is
until like the 70s that Hen and Rooster was actually good knives.
111449.
But that was the last time he bought one. So I
111449.
think probably after
This is the
hey, there you go.
Colorado
After like
Milano.
I would say after the 70s into
It
the
is
80s, I think Hen and
springtime.
Rooster just fell apart.
And
Yes, Kurt,
this
people buy
is
a lot of this stuff.
very
A lot.
summery handle.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I remember
floral
when they
design
were
here, yeah.
they were
Very
really
leafy.
good folders.
Colorado Milano. It's an assisted opening. and
Colorado Milano.
does Elite Edge make that? Or is it Tiger?
It's a lit edge. It's a lit edge.
Never either. I know Elite Edge does a lot of.
It's a lit
it's
edge.
Tiger.
You didn't spend the
That's
money
made in
on the
USA.
extra E.
This
Elite
handle is a
edge, as they're
5-inch
calling it.
handle, clip on the reverse
ELITEDGE.
side, and the Colorado.
I'm like,
Milano.
that's not
It is
elite.
only
That's a lit.
$12. 112-102.
Yeah, they were. I
112,
think they're still
102.
made in Soligen. They're just not made well.
Okay, Case Caribbean Blue. This was fantastic. Boy, I mean, we see a lot of colors.
It's actually not a
of course,
bad
lot
looking
of
knife. I don't
bone
mind those
and
handles.
A lot of knife brands, but now Caribbean Blue and Case, that's a perfect pairing. They did a good job. And then I think something too that enhanced the Caribbean.
But you could take if you have a
was
regular,
the
if you have a
socket
regular
jig.
bone
A lot
handled
of times
case,
when you
just
have
you
that
could put it
deep
in some Kool-Aid
jig,
and you
it's
get the same fucking
more
thing.
of what you see
And then your knife
instead of
smells
just the
good.
color.
Like, what's
I
that
think
smell?
about
Oh, it's
doing
my
the
pocket
saw
knife.
cut jig.
It smells like
You know,
blueberries.
you are just immersed into the color, and has the oval shield, the long tail C case logo.
I actually
That
like
one
it.
is
I actually like the
good
look of
looking
those
knife. If you're-
handles. I wouldn't
and
buy that
wouldn't
knife,
be a good
but I like
choice
the
for
look of the
Easter. If you
handle.
want to get somebody a pocket knife for Easter, that could be like an Easter egg color in that Caribbean blue.
I'm not
And
gonna
it's only
lie.
$62.
I was like getting ready to
and
grab my phone
75
and start
cents.
playing
Item
DMX.
number
The
is
second you posted, I'm like, oh, no, I can't. I get a copyright strike.
1035.77. That buoy, this is your bayonet buoy that'll do free shipping.
Looks like a
that'll
pocket
give you
knife.
free
Starts
shipping.
licking.
$16.95. 14-inch
candy.
buoy. Rubber sugar grip handle. I look at that and I think of
Oh,
X's.
did she
on
say
the
sugar
handle,
grip?
But that does give you a grip. It's a texture grip handle. $16.95 and free shipping with your
Well, don't
purchase.
forget they have to pay the fee for this
11200.
high-end TV show they're gonna
The Arno Bernard. You know, we highlight a lot of Arnos on the show.
That's all I could think of. I was gonna put it on.
don't
I was
see
gonna
this one
put
as
the
often
monster
as
voice on and
others.
sing along to it, and I was like,
Maybe it's because
"Nah, I'm
this
absolutely
might be
gonna
the
get it.
last
I'll
one,
absolutely get a
but
copyright
it's
strike."
the Sable. And we are giving it away on April the 5th. Handmade in South Africa.
You guys like how I basically told
Genuine
Russell, like, I'm
leather
stealing this
sheath,
knife.
the sable. So cutlerycorner.net, you'll see the knife there on our website. Get your name into the drawing.
It tastes like burning.
Okay, here's another Kershaw. This one's done in the
This,
OD
this
green.
knife tastes funny.
Well, I had camo
It tastes
earlier,
like blood.
and this is the only other one I have on the show. And
It's
it's done
because
in
you
the OD
licked the
green.
blade,
But this
you
is a
idiot.
3.5-inch handle. It's made in the
Sorry.
USA. It's part of that speed
Sorry, I
safe
hit the giggle grass.
technology. It's one of the fastest.
What if someone uses
assisted
the
opening
exact TV
knives
format,
that
but with
ever
actual good knives? I
came
don't know.
across
I would like to see
our
that.
show, for
I mean,
real.
Blade
Okay,
HQ
it's
kind
very
of
light on the
does.
trigger, and that is
Blade
why
HQ
they
does
do
their
the
YouTube
speed
stuff, but I
safe
don't think
lock
they.
on the reverse side. But this one's $68,
No, I don't think there's.
75 cents, OD green. This was a line made by Ken
I'd
Onion,
steal it if
and so he named all of them.
I'd steal it if
onion
I was
names.
you, Mike. It's
There's
okay.
the chive, which was
No, I have
3
to-
inches. The
I have to,
scallion's 3.5, and the
Well,
loop
I don't,
is
guys.
4.
I know that Blade
So
HQ
this is
has
that medium
irritated a lot of
one,
people lately.
but they're all
I
really
have
quick.
got an
$68,
affiliate that I'm
75
working
cents,
on with Knife Ship Free.
57352.
I have an affiliate
Item
with
number
directly with the Knife
57352.
Company, with GP
Either one of those would
Knives,
be really good ones
uh,
too for
with Artisan.
turkey season.
I have the
Okay.
Amazon stuff. I have a lot
The
of knife
Damascus
affiliate links that I'm trying
chipmunk.
because I do know not everyone
Wow.
likes Blade
So much
HQ.
to love about
That's
this
my
knife.
preferred
Olive
vendor,
wood handle, beautiful
uh,
wood grain in that olive wood, but
or it was
also
for you guys because they always had
Damascus.
everything
You
I
have
was
this
looking for.
genuine Damascus blade. It's 6 3/4 overall, and it's not even
What happened?
$20.
What
These
happened
are
that made
made by
you
Valley
be
Forge. That's a
over Blade
beautiful
HQ?
Damascus blade.
I'm just curious because
I
I've
have
had
less than 50
I've heard a
of
bunch of
these
people say,
left.
"Oh, I'm done with Blade HQ," and I'm like, but I haven't heard
Genuine
why.
leather sheath. The
That's
chipmunk
exactly like
is
I've heard a lot of
always
people
a
say
popular
it,
Skinner, but with the Damascus,
but I haven't
that
heard
also
why
takes
they're
it to
saying
a whole
it.
nother level. For a Skinner, just 1860.
Tax and shipping.
The
Oh,
Damascus
okay.
chipmunk. You think about the sheath. I mean, I know it's a smaller knife. $12, $15 for the leather sheath. You're getting
TC
a
was
Damascus
on.
Skinner, olive wood on the handle, and a leather
Yeah.
sheath.
Uh,
Just $18.60.
from everybody I've talked to that worked
good
or
size
works
knife to
at
carry
Smoky Mountain
big.
Knife Works, they say it's pretty
Unless you
cool.
like a big 15.
Stop shipping to your
17-inch
zip
boot,
code.
This
That
is
sucks.
a lot of times all you need. That 6 3/4.
Leo Bravo.
On a
Leo
little
Bravo.
Skinner.
Sounds more like they're done with you.
112078. Damascus chipmunk. All right, the Michael Prater Spiny Oyster Barlow, and this was on
Everyone's
the
favorite
Damascus
people left.
Barlow.
Are you talking about the YouTube channel
I'm trying
or
to
the?
remember what all he did on these handles. Of course, here's Spiny. I remember Avalanche. Seems like there was one more. Maybe it was Golden Jade, Jasper. They originally were all over $100. Now
That
they're
one,
all
okay. I don't know
$78.
why, but when
And
I
that is
did the
also
mental
a
decline of
warehouse
Jod,
clearance spring cleaning because
it
there's only 24
it
of
absolutely
those
got
left. When it gets
my
to be
feed
pretty low
demonetized. I got a
quantity like
copyright
that, I
strike.
know a lot of times we'll mark them down, move them out, so just letting them sit there on the shelf. So
Gizzard
78
Gary, I
bucks.
met the dudes from Smoky Mountain
Damascus
Knife Works at
two-blade
SHOT Show.
Barlow,
They picked me
Spiny Oyster,
out
and this
because
one
I
has
was
a
wearing
lot
one of their
red and yellow.
t-shirts. Super friendly.
Spiny Oyster,
One of the
it's got a
guys
lot of
that's
different
one of my
letters
paying
there.
members, and I haven't talked to him
And
for a while, but I used to talk to him pretty
you
rarely.
can see
Alex
how it's
used to work at
very
Blade
smooth and
HQ.
glossy. And when they polish that spiny, which that looks completely different compared to how it looks when they bring it out of the ocean. But you'll see it a lot
I
on
thought because I've
jewelry
heard
and
people
things like
talking
that,
about
bracelets
like
and
that they
rings
won't
and
use
necklace
Blade
pendants,
HQ
but
anymore
Michael
for
Prater has found a way to
because
make
there
it
was
a knife
something with
handle.
shipping.
And it's
I
only
heard somebody complaining
$78.
that they didn't get their order from
111-851
White Mountain
on
Knives
this
for
spiny Damascus
quite a
Barlow.
while. Like it took days
So
before
here's
they
a
ever
neat
even
look,
said they
and
were
this
shipping
is
it, and
a
then they got a
tiny
tracking number, and
display.
it said that it had
It's
been
the cutest little baby
like they
display.
generated the tracking number, and it stayed like
7.5
that
by
for 2 weeks. They had
9.5.
never dropped it off for
That's
shipping.
the size of the display. Made in the USA oak display. Now the two knives, that was part of our Native American series, made by the Silver Horse Stoneworks line. You have a 5-inch lock back and a 4-inch lock back.
Well, I would rather that you use my
Of course, the
affiliate
thing that
links
stands out the most on
and go to
these
Blade HQ.
is going to be that chief full headdress profile there for the shield. And then your bolsters, they kind of have
I
little
I have
design
never
on them,
heard
too.
too
I
many
call it
people
a
say it, but I
step
had
bolster.
like 3 people tell me all at the same time that they're like,
Turquoise.
"Yeah, I
Have
got
the
a
turquoise
notification that
blue
my
on the
item had
handle.
shipped." And every time I hit the tracking number, every time I clicked the tracking number, it
And
told me that the number had been generated,
there's the 5
but
inch.
it was waiting to be dropped off, or
Stoneworks long
I think
feather.
do they use FedEx? I can't remember.
$64.50. And this is the only time I know that we have this.
Well,
little
Jeremy,
sparkle
I
stuff.
have an affiliate link,
Yes, sir.
GP Knives now.
7.5.
I'm gonna start
9.5.
putting that up.
Made in
So
the USA display. Stoneworks long feather. Item number is 112013.
heard a lot of people complaining about Blade HQ upping prices above average inflation. Max
This
Ace
is your
Black Mirror, for
Stagbone
example, is
resin
like
collection.
170, and there's
Earlier I was talking about
125.
the
Okay,
4-piece
I can
set of steel wire
I
fixed
can
blades
tell you something that
with
happens
the
sometimes.
Stagbone resin handles.
Some
Here's where you're
vendors
gonna
are
get a
considered
lot of
preferred
pocket
vendors, and
knives
they're
with that
allowed to sell
same
under
look.
MAP
We
or
have
sell
a
at
sharp
MAP,
skinner
which
in
is
the center,
minimum pricing, and some
and
companies are
then
told they can't
a
sell at MAP
whole lot of
and they
pocket
have to
knives
sell it
made by
higher
the Cutlery
because
Corner.
they're not preferred vendors. So some
This is gonna be the
companies
fixed
aren't
blade.
allowed to sell
Um,
at MAP, and some companies are authorized to sell below MAP.
12-inch fixed blade.
So MAP is
made by
minimum allowed
Sharps.
pricing, and MSRP is manufactured recommended
Nylon
pricing.
sheath.
So typically you wind up somewhere in the middle of that.
And then your other knives, cigar style whittler. Here's a 2-blade razor trapper. Again, look at these.
Most
great
places sell my
bolsters.
Sea Snake
They
design
did the
at
scalloping
MAP.
bolsters. A lady leg knife, Stockman, premium trapper.
Is it made out of
4-inch
ladies' legs?
back.
How is it legal to
Here's a
sell that if
2-blade
is the
Barlow,
bone from a
the
lady's
canoe.
leg?
Something about that little canoe I like. 3-inch toothpick, cigar style whittler. That's an old fashioned.
Ain't nobody
look
need a
that
toothpick
never
that
goes out of
long.
style.
Your teeth are only
with
that,
that
like, you just
Stagbone
need like a
resin,
half inch.
You know, it has a lot
Maybe
of
2
character
inches.
to it. When they build that handle, they put it in a mold to mimic
Blade
the look
HQ
of douchebag.
had the price at a
And
lower
then they
price
finish it
after
off
the
with
video
the
dropped,
silver
and then they
scalp
started selling
bolsters.
more and
Those
raised the
knives
price.
are only $12.80.
The other thing you have to look at too is they
$12.80
might have had
pocket
stuff in
knife.
stock, and then
$12.80 for the
the
fixed blade.
price.
The display is free.
Okay, so they may
The
have
other thing
had
about
they may
this
have
set,
sold their
I think it's
stock
the
and
first
had to
time I've
order new
seen
ones, and the new ones are at a higher
the
price
12
point.
by 18
And
display
other
today.
companies are
So
still
this
trying
is
to
the
sell
big
their
one. This
stock
is
of
the
lower price knives. You
double
may see that
Q-lock
increase across the board
12 by 18. And
because
it's
Blade
normally
HQ actually sells more
$58.
knives than I think they sell more knives than any vendor
111934
online. So they burn through their
Stagbone Showcase.
online stuff. So they get stuff in and they pay a
And
price
that
for
free
it.
shipping fixed blade will
Then their
help you
next
out
order
for
of
sure
knives,
with a
if that
big
price is changed from
display
the
of knives.
manufacturer,
So make sure you get
could
it at
account for that. Because
112003.
there's a lot of companies
Bayonet
out there
style
that just
buoy,
do not move as much product as Blade
$16.95
HQ.
and free ground shipping
If
on
that
your
makes
made order.
sense. That is fucking hideous.
Brand new. These just came in, and
Could
out
we
of
have
all
left them on the truck?
items that we sell here on the show, that's part of our Trump line. I think these are
Not even because
great. I
not
like
even I give a fuck about the Trump thing,
of
but
course,
like
I've
that
always
is
liked our pen knives, and I'm going
but
to show you
that's
some unique
but
features to
why?
the pen knives. But this is $50 for the dozen. They have
That's
Trump 2024 lasered in gold on the red pen.
Leo, I don't hate
And you
everything.
can see the blade there. So I'm going to put this all together. This is what it's going to look like. Looks like a normal ink pen, and it writes like a normal ink pen. But then
For a little bit.
you take it apart. When you pull it apart,
Ah, so I thought she
you
was gonna
have
cut herself.
your
I was
blade,
like,
which
fuck,
could
did
be
she
a
just
letter opener. Could also be
She
a
keeps looking at her
self-defense
hands. She's like, I
item.
think I got myself. I think I got myself. Did I get myself?
But every single one, of course, will look like this. It's
I
gonna come in this
swear I
little
thought she
case,
cut
which
herself when because I kind of I
this is
looked
another
away
great
as she
item
was doing it. I was
if
like,
you wanna
oh,
buy
did
and
she just
resell, 'cause they're only $4.17 a piece. We made 50 of these. Already sold some. This is the very first
for
time
when
didn't
you
hit the
work in an
show,
office
but it's the
and
Trump
Bob is just pissing you off
2024
that day?
pen knives. They're only
Sir, you get free bells.
$4.17 a piece. It's a $50 bill there. 112125.
I'm going to give
This is
you
so special.
auto-tune
What sold me
bells.
on this knife when I picked it up earlier today was how well it worked. I thought, for just
Free
10
bells
bucks,
for
that is
bubbles because that
definitely
shit was
a
funny.
great find. This show special is a pretty big knife too. So
The
it
fuck
looks
is
like
that? Why? It's
this
so
big,
bad.
large military type stiletto.
No,
It is 6
no, it doesn't.
inches. So this is a 6-inch with the blade closed. Pull the trigger.
It doesn't have a
It's like
fucking trigger,
boxing,
bitch. What the
which,
fuck? Big Nose
again,
Kate,
it just
like
kinda
you're on the
surprised
wrong
me at the
show.
speed because it is such a large tactical. I like the look of it. I like the gold spacers, clip on the reverse side. So I think that's really good fun for just 10 bucks. Show special, $10. They call it the large military tactical. Item number
This
is
shit
112
just not made it.
148.
That
We
is-
have a new.
Oh, here
trapper
we go.
here
Look,
for
it's
ya.
in the Bible Belt. This is
And
where I
this
grew
is,
up.
these
That's
are
that
made a little bit different
televangelist
than what you
knife.
typically see with the
You get that when
knives
you
with the
get the
messages there on
Miracle
handle. But
Spring
this one
Water
has
from
"In
Peter
God We
Popoff.
Trust." It's $59.
You get this with it. It comes in the box.
Starts off on a white smooth bone premium trapper.
It starts off as a good knife, and then we
So
fuck
what
it
they
all up,
do,
make it look like shit.
basically, they remove the handle around the words, and so that is actually raised
As
on the
a,
handle. The "In God We Trust" with the cross, and then
they remove all the material around
we
those
are
letters.
not
That's why they
privileged to the
stand up real high
details
like
of how
that.
they
I'm
are
like,
able to give it
obviously,
this
bitch.
antique look.
I didn't think that
They
I
go
didn't
back
think that
and
they
do
poured the
that
bone into a
vintage
mold.
finish on the handle too. Turns out wonderful. And then they finish this one off with the box. So this is a leather-bound gift box. Has the "In God We Trust" on the top of the lid. This is the inside. You have the praying hands right there.
Oh my god, this is.
And of course, that trapper just fits right down in there too.
I can't. It's got
So
the
if you
praying
do
hands
know,
inside the box and
Quite the
everything.
presentation.
I just,
do
guys,
love the box.
I
think they did a
can't.
wonderful job.
Oh,
The artwork on that.
I told y'all.
leather-bound
I told
gift
y'all.
box.
If there is a second coming of Christ,
$59.86.
I
For
say
today's
right now
special,
that I think we should
I
petition
remember this
that
buoy.
if
and it was
Christ
in the
does come back,
$40
the second
range, 'cause
coming,
that
that
is
we call it
genuine
Christ 2,
buffalo horn
the Christian
on the
Boogaloo.
handle. And this is that large
That's all I got to say.
Joseph Rogers and Sons buoy.
That,
It also has a
Dopey,
brass
that got me.
guard.
I almost
It
fell.
has some nice
I
detail on there,
almost
too.
fell out of my
Gosh, this
chair.
is
I
a
was laughing.
monster.
Gonna be grabbing a
buoy.
sea snake soon. That would, what would help out the most,
15
Mike? Like
inches.
how or where? I got a video that goes up here in a couple days, but if you go
Now, I'm
down in
trying
the
to think
description of any of my
back,
videos, there's a link to it on Amazon. But if you use any of my links, even if that
I'm
link
pretty
doesn't
sure
take you to it,
debuted at
if you use any of my
$42.
links
It
and
was
go to
like low
Amazon,
40s, somewhere in the
I
low
get money for you buying it
And
on
then I
Amazon,
guess
and
we
then I
dropped
get
it
my,
to 28
so I get it
And then
twice.
now it is
So I get it
19.88. So if you're waiting for that
as
to go lower,
I
just
get
don't
it
ever
as
see
a
that happening.
5%
Most pocket knives are more than
commission
that. And then it has a
for you
leather
buying
sheath.
it,
I mean,
5% of the sale,
literally
and then
the
I get
leather sheath
5%
is
of the
worth more than
sale from my affiliate
$19.88.
link.
But
So
these specials that we highlight, like the Woo, the Add To, today's special, all of those items,
praying hands at the
write
top. Yeah,
that
what was
down
this?
because you don't want to miss out on those. Next week,
We
they'll
need
go back up
praying
to the regular
hands
price. So
box for the
when
sea snake.
you come across
It,
those
it would be
deals,
this.
make sure you order
That's
them
what
'cause
you would
they are
get. It would be
big
me
time.
like this on the inside of the box.
That's a big time savings on that. 112086 for the today's special. So that's buffalo horn, but I have a collection here of ox horn and a really neat item
What
there
the
in the
fuck
center.
is in the middle of it?
So you have these pocket knives that are going to be a Choil River ox horn, and then
Yeah, if you go
This
into
is
any of my
a-
videos, if you scroll down through the
call it a
description, you'll see
drinking
a
cup.
bunch
I
of
would use
affiliate
it more
links
of like a display
of
item.
tools
That
and
is so
sharpening
cool.
stones
If
and
you
stuff
were to
like that.
find this in like a gift
Anything,
shop, I'm
like if
it's
you
probably
click on that and then you just
$39,
clear the
but it
search
has
window and go
this
search something else,
wolf
whatever you're looking
theme
for, I still get credit for
that
it.
is
Every one of those affiliate
lasered
links is just an
into
entryway into
the
my
ox
affiliate
horn
store
cup.
on Amazon. That's just how it
It's
works. Like if you're
neat.
buying shampoo, use one of my affiliate links, then click up whatever
I
shampoo.
see a lot of
I have a
color
question.
on that too.
So that is a ox
White
horn
and tan.
mug.
So when we
Have
show
you
the
ever
classy knives,
smelled
it's going to make a little bit more sense
what horn
when
smells
you see
like
the variation
inside?
of colors, because when you see it
Like
on
they
that
have
large
to epoxy
cup,
the fuck out of that.
that's how it gets there. But you have the Barlow 2-blade Barlow. Here's your lady leg knife, the Canoe, 5-inch lock back, Coe River Trapper, 4-blade
Oh, that'd be some
Congress.
shit right there, wouldn't
Here's
it? We'd
a
be watching this. The sea
full-size
snake comes up. I would
Canoe.
have to go. Like I would
And a
literally have to go get
5-inch
my
lock
cowboy
back's
boots,
coming around. Now,
my
this
fucking
5-inch lock
my
back
Jack
will
Daniels
also
shirt, and
have
put the cowboy
the
hat on. Be
nylon
like, "Woo,
sheath
boys!
there.
Look what happened!"
So go right ahead and carry it and use that. $13.33.
Yes, that's exactly
a
what the
piece.
inside. I gotcha. I know exactly what the inside of a horn smells like, and you're right. That's what it smells like.
So this counts as your 9th item. They call this a 9-piece set. So this is going to be your 9th item.
Oh,
On
I'll tell them
the
you were
cup.
viciously
Hawthorne
attacked
Phillip,
and
$120.
anally
And
molested
of
to
course,
death outside of a
limited
gay strip
factor in
bar.
this whole set
That's
has
what
to
I'll
be
tell
that
'em.
cup. Might be the one and only time we ever have that on the show. It's the very first time. Might be one and done with that. But 112137 on the Oxhorn collection.
Guys,
Here's
it has
prayer
been
time.
stupid windy. I don't
prayer
know if you
time
guys
is
can hear it.
just
It's
this
still windy. We had
amazing
such
deal.
wind.
They're only $2 a piece. These are typically
Oh my
$5 a
God.
piece.
It's prayer
But
time.
with Easter approaching, or
It's
if you
prayer
opt to give
time.
these out any time of the year because they have such an encouraging
Wait.
message behind each.
Wait, my bad. I
piece.
got prayer and
But
disco
these
mixed
are
up.
pin knives, single
They're
blade
different
pin
things.
knives. They also kind of
My
have
bad.
that ivory vintage finish on the handle too.
I'd rather
But
listen to
the
this.
messages that you see, so we're going to give you this variety of messages, right? Each one, you will get 2 of each one. So the I am the light of the world, you will get 2 of those. In God we trust.
There you go. More praying hands. Just
The
the
word is a
praying
lamp unto my
hands.
feet. The Lord is my shepherd. Do this in remembrance of me.
Those
with the
things are
cross and
fucking
dove.
horrible. Like I
Come after me
I
and
wouldn't
I'll
have
make
one of
fishers
those
of
to
men.
clean my fingernails with.
So all of these messages, you'll receive 2.
Just remember, did
of
I
each
drop
one.
my Norseman right
You're
before I
also
left?
going to get this little carrying case. So we have
That's not a carrying case.
case
It's
here
a
that you
fucking
can use
jar.
this to
My daughter
store
has.
things in. You can use it to
My daughter
resell
has
on the web.
candies
You
that
use
come
as
in
a
that.
reselling tool.
There you
But of
go.
course,
Thank
there's
you,
all the
Todd.
boxes that go with those knives. 24 knives, $2 a piece, and it's, of course, it's while supplies last, because this has been one of our best sellers. But it is called Prayer Time.
It's the
Item
prayer
number is
time bucket o'
111
knives, ladies and gentlemen. You can't beat it anywhere. You're getting $48 for
Nice.
all those knives.
Nice. Markdown on this one too, $16.95. Item number is 112003. But it is a military outdoor adventure type knife.
What the
14
fuck
inches.
is? It's a
And
military
if you have
outdoor
this, then you also
camping,
have free
hunting,
ground shipping on your entire order.
utility
So every single
knife
week we
kind of
offer a
thing.
free shipping knife.
Like, could
This
you have
time around,
thrown more
it's
categories at
this
it,
nice
bitch?
Dewey. 112003. Free shipping knife for the day. Hey, our Sharps rifle set. The Sharps rifle showcase.
Is the sea snake a
6 knives
euphemism?
bonus display.
No.
And these are your only
I
pocket
named
knives
all of
in
my I
the
named
Sharps
all of my
line.
knives
We carry a
after
lot of
venomous
displays that we
creatures.
show you in the Sharps line, but this is
And
the only
there
pocket
was
knife
a
set. It's
knife
done in
that I
a
called
nice antique brown, but I see
the
this warm
Scorpion,
chestnut honey
which
color
was
to the
a
handle
drop
too.
point,
It's
and then I had
really
to
good
rename
looking.
it because I found
And
out there
then
was
the
already a knife named
shield is
Scorpion.
what
I
makes them really
renamed it
nice. So
the
instead of just
Habu,
like a traditional
which is a
oval
Japanese
shield,
land snake, and I was like, well,
you
its
have the Sharps
cousin,
rifle,
which would
and
be
you can
the
see how they adjust
the
the size of
Warren
that
Cliff, which
to
is more of a nautical
every
style
single
blade. I
one
was like, well,
of
sea
those,
snake.
which
There you go.
typically if it was just
Because a lot
a
of times you use Warren Cliffs
oval
or
shield,
sheep's
it'd be
foot
the same
knives on a
one that
ship.
they put on every knife.
So
But
it's
here's
not a
your
euphemism
walking
for anything.
copperhead. You have that nice premium.
I have a
24.
knife that I've
They
designed that's
did
called the
a
Mukade, which is
hobble
a
polish
the giant
on those
Asian
cheekbone
mountain
handles too.
centipede,
So there's your
the really
stocking.
venomous
We
one.
have a peanut included, a toothpick, and the lockback, that nice Barracuda lockback. Your display is going to be the 9x12 display.
Guys, here in
This is
about
the
5
one that
minutes,
we
I'm going to
have
end
for
this.
$48 and change. So if you were to buy it separately,
$92.
paying
6
for it,
pieces for
but it's
$92. Can
in
you
the
believe
Sharps
it? Look
Rifle
at them.
Showcase. We do
Sharps
that a
Rifle
couple of times. I have
Showcase.
several sets on the show today. Pocket knife collections with bonus displays. So you're not obligated to just buy a single display. If you need one,
You can buy
I would
more.
get the knife collection.
You can buy more
Because the pocket
displays
knives
if
are
you
only
want to
$15
display your
each a
horrible
piece,
garbage knives
then
that
you
you
get
bought on our
bonuses.
website.
111942 on the Sharps Rifle Showcase.
Mm,
Our choice short sword,
I have to.
$12.88. You will get one sword.
Sorry, I was
It's
getting ready
a
to do something. She got my
Kanto-style
attention.
sword, 26 inches overall length.
Them poor
And
little
this
dudes in the
might
factory with
be
the
one of the last times I
red,
get to
green,
show you
yellow
guys this
Sharpies.
because
Like, this fucking
we
sucks.
are going through these like crazy, and I don't think we can get any more of them. So
Thank
this
God.
will be the end of the line for that. But we have
Daniel, I
a
sent your
green
knives off today.
titanium finish. I think the green one's my favorite. I like that green. The gold always looks good. The red titanium finish, and then there's a rainbow.
Is that a
It has
footprint?
a
Was that a fucking footprint
nylon
on that
cord wrap
knife?
on the handle, and there's also a shoulder strap sheet that comes with these. So again, it's
They give you a shoulder strap sheet. You can throw it over your shoulder
Sheath, you can throw it over your shoulder
like you're in an
and take
anime.
off on your adventure. If you order more than one of these, which I would, if I was buying one, I'd go ahead and get several.
Well, I haven't seen Jod. We haven't seen Jod for like
$12.88.
2 or 3 weeks. It's been a while.
But you'll get one for $12.88 on the short sword savings. 111930.
It's been longer than that. Like we were watching it once, and then right before,
this is our German bull.
right before I ended, he popped up, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I think it's just because when we're watching,
Bull's a brand we have carried for quite some time.
I want one for
very
each of my
solid
limbs and some
brand,
duct
Min and
tape.
Rooster,
You'd be
German
like the
Bull,
original
Buckwheat, all
Deadpool
those
from
fall
the
into that
Wolverine movie.
category. Big folding hunters are 5 1/4.
Fuck, I'm just like, I'm just looking at where she's putting her fingers, and I'm like, she's gonna cut herself. And then I remember it's a steel bull. I remember it's a steel bull. It's not sharp enough to cut her.
And that bold German bull shield. I've seen a couple of different shields by the German bull line, but I think
Like,
that one's my favorite.
if she had a sharp
then
knife,
there's
she
the
might look
sheath.
at the
So we're
tips on
tossing
those.
in that
Look at the
nylon
tips
sheath.
on
Gotta
those.
have that
Those are
sheath if you're gonna
horrible.
carry the knife because it's a good sized knife and it's kind of heavy. But it's only $28.80.
That's too much.
112094.
It's too much. Guys, don't ever
Well, this
buy
is deer
anything from them.
stag
I'm
with
gonna
a
tell you right
little
now. I burned an email
look
address.
to it,
I
you
like
know?
no longer use that email address
Call it-
because
yeah, the cougar. This is the
every
Cougar One
day
buoy. But
I wake up
here's the
and I've
deer
got
stag
10 new
piece.
emails. Like
This
in
is
the
full
morning,
tang,
I wake up to
stainless
10 new
steel
emails
blade
from
and
Cutlery Corner
stainless
Network.
palm on that one.
And then throughout the day,
And
I'll
a
get
leather
30
sheath.
or 40
There's
more.
a basket weave.
And I delete them
leather
all and I go to
sheath
bed and I
with
wake
every
up with
single
10
one
more
of those, too.
overnight.
This is just $38.63 for the stag.
God, that is
Cougar
horrible looking.
That has an $89.95 price tag.
No, it is
behind
not.
it. But
Stop lying,
you know,
bitch.
I have a few deer stag fixed blades on the show today, but I don't have a ton of them. This one just came in. We had about 100 of them, and that's going to be it. But it definitely falls into the kind of the larger category of a knife.
No,
It's the hand
I
really
already
good,
have.
though. It's
I already have
really
email.
good
I
to
already have
feel
an
and
email
use.
address with them. You don't need to send another one to them.
112136. And we're going to go to a carousel where a lot of these items are going to be.
Wait, they're like, what do you want me to put in or not? What the fuck am I doing here? Like, yes, no,
Beautiful
yes, no, like,
and
yes,
local
no,
knives.
yes.
So the first one we're going to look at, this is a
Tell you
painted pony
Chipotle.
case pearl bar clasp.
So this is what
So
Michael Prater does.
He only made 5 of these. And the frame itself.
You know what?
was
Every time I
something
see one of
from the
those,
early
I'm just picturing a
90s.
dude in like a lime green leisure suit
But he just now customized
having a
it,
house
but
party with
that's something Michael's
fondue,
been holding on to for
like
quite
that
some
70s
time.
show. It looks
He
like
has
disco.
genuine mother of pearl.
Every time I
Then
see one of
you'll
his
notice
knives that he
there's
does like that,
some
I'm like,
red
that
line
looks like
spacers.
that is the
Nice
personification
kind
of
of
like a
jump of
swingers
color
party
there.
right there, right there. You
And
know
then
the key parties.
chevron spacers. He's
That
made
is
some of
that is
the
a
larger
70s
ones and the
swingers
smaller
party
ones there to
distilled
finish out that
down
handle, but you get the that same look
into
front and back.
into
So
a
he
like a
only
knife
made
scale.
5.
Like
We're
that's all
down
that
to
is.
the last 2. You'll get the painted pony stand and the certificate and all the good stuff. So $548. Item number is 112024.
They did a pretty good job with their
There's a no-
PVD.
so
It's not
earlier
going to
I
hold
had
up
a
to a lot,
trapper.
but
It was
it's
called the
pretty good.
Babe.
I like the PVD one because it looks good.
Gosh, so we have two here on the show with the same name, but I'm sure they were put together at different times. That one we only had 6 of.
Well,
Same story
guys,
here. There's only
I'm going to get off of
6.
here
I would
because
love
I
to
got to
be
put
able
the
to
trash
get both
out
of
and I got
them
to tell my
for you,
kid good
especially
night
a
and all that
baseball
stuff.
fan.
So, guys, I do
What they did
appreciate
on
you
this
all
one was
hanging
that-
out. This was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. I apologize if my conversation about the whole thing going on with YouTube, like the membership stuff, and all the things that we said. I was not trying to make it seem like it was mandatory to donate, but we will be doing some members only live feeds. We're going to do some member only live feeds coming up soon. It's going to be a lot of fun. I like the member only stuff because it gives everybody a chance to see the benefits of being a member, and it gives the member the benefit that I'm promising. I just got naked. So, well, thanks, Chuck. That's an image I didn't fucking need. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, if you're still here, I would appreciate it. I see that there's still some people that I don't recognize here. And I'm going to be doing a lot more membership stuff. Saturdays, I'm going to try and keep doing it. I've got some stuff going on the next couple weekends, but Saturdays, a lot of times I will run a stream off of YouTube. I do it separate. I do it on StreamYard, but I don't stream it to YouTube. So it's just closed loop when we watch movies. We watched movies last weekend. I'll probably do it again. We had fun. It was a good one. There was like 5 people there. So if you got gifted a membership, go over and check out the community tab on my main channel and find the link to the Gilded server. And then once you're in, you should be able to DM me and tell me like, hey, I'm in. And then I'll bounce your membership off of the list of members and I'll grant you access to the chat rooms. So that will be Saturday's your birthday. All right, Dopey. I will make sure we have something going on. So Saturday, Dopey, if you want, the thing is, the way I do it, you can share your audio video. We can visually talk and hear each other. It's just like this, except everybody, you know how when me and Russell were talking, we're on the side. Well, like when we were watching Cutlery Corner Network, we were all on the side watching the movie. 2A Dave, me, Robert was there, a couple other people, and it was a lot of fun. And so I'm gonna try and keep doing that. Zorro, if you have to promise me Zorro, that you're going to tone it down so we can actually watch the movie. So, Bubbles is there. Bubbles logged in and was watching movies with us. So yeah, we had fun. I have a lot of movies that we can watch. I don't have to worry about copyright strikes and stuff like that. So, Mike and I can't do movie night because we just talk about Chase and Poon the whole time. No, we can. I can avoid that. So stay tuned on the Gilded chat for info on the drunk video call. Are you guys going to do you guys have never invited me to the drunk video calls. And see, here's the thing. The Gilded server, which is a lot of fun, has struck up friendships like Leo and Bubbles, Zorro, Robert. They apparently have their own live streams with each other. I don't know what they're doing. Can only imagine. I don't want to because fuck, I don't want to be scarred for life. Like I can't delete that. There's like everybody's like, oh, I say things like I want to unremember that and something like that. I just had an image in my head. I want to unremember that. If you're like, oh, you mean forget? I was like, no, because if you forget something, there's a chance you may remember it later. I want to unremember it. Completely takes that out of the equation. I have unremembered that. So even if I forget it, no chance I'm remembering it. Why? Because I unremembered it. Fucking So, guys, that's it. I love you all. Thanks for hanging out. I think we got a handful of subscribers on this one. It was a lot of fun. I do appreciate it. Tomorrow, 2 videos and a 3-minute. So I'm doing 2 full videos, and in the middle is one of my little 3-minute videos. Tomorrow is going to be a knife show clip, I believe. or I may film something. I don't know. I got a lot of filming to do. And there was a members only video that went up today. So with that being said, I have not yet given you the thing that I promised I would give you in every video. Not entertainment, the dancing cat.
They call me Cuba Pete. I'm the king of a rumba beat. When I play the maracas, I go chick chicky boom, chick chicky boom. Yeah.
I didn't say I was going to entertain you. I didn't say I was going to give entertainment. I just said I would every time give you dancing cat. Guys, I'm out. I love you. It's been 2 hours and 6 minutes of, well, it was real and it was fun, but I'm not going to say it was real fun. I'm kidding. It was a blast. Guys, I love you all. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time.